Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
About 24 hours or so, we'll be over at TIAA Bank. We'll have another show on a Friday afternoon, and we will be getting ready for kickoff in Jacksonville. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns. I love it. I can feel the excitement. Business has picked up. We got meetings. We got Florida State over at the University of North Florida this morning, tomorrow. Man, we got a lot going on.
Brent Martineau,
Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz. We got meetings. Started meetings at 8:30 this morning.
That's
got
an
a
early
little
morning.
practice in. Got another meeting. We had a lunch meeting. Trying to figure out credentials. I just said to you, I was like, doesn't matter. I've done this 15 years. Every time you do it, you're like, okay, what am I missing? This is kind of like get the checklist going.
Mm-hmm.
It does get easier, but it doesn't get easy.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
You got to make sure everything's buttoned up.
I'm not good at the buttoned up stuff, like crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's. I'm pretty bad at that stuff.
Yeah, well, and it's like we just have so many moving parts now, so it's I'm a conductor at times.
I saw you were able to trick someone into giving Casey credentials.
Casey got credentialed.
Yeah.
How about that?
Nice,
How
man.
about it?
How quick will they get pulled from him as soon as he starts begging Dan Arnold for an autograph in practice?
Imagine how I owe major favors for this.
Oh, no.
Huh? Wasn't that difficult?
Brent sold his soul to get you into TIAA Bank Field is what it sounds like.
He's going to be disappointed. I can't go in the important places. I looked at my pass.
Oh, really? Yours doesn't
you're
allow. I didn't even
restricted,
look
huh?
at my pass. So hopefully I can go in the important places.
Well, I mean, I can go
I'll
on
be
the
on the sideline tomorrow on Fox 30.
I can go on the field. I just can't go in the locker room.
Yeah, like my favorite part of doing the preseason, I say this to the guys all the time as I just left the meeting. We do a production meeting on Thursdays, and it's a typical like TV thing, like across the National Football League. But it's the networks that do it all year, but we get to do it on a local level.
Yeah.
For the preseason. And I love the production meetings because when you see what goes into the broadcast, little behind the scenes of that, I like that because I'm a TV geek in that sense, or a media geek. But we get to spend a little time today with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence and Josh Allen. Those guys were great, but you get them in different setting. It's a different set. It's more laid back setting of, some like.
And does
what's
that
going
bear
on.
out when you're talking to them in interviews? Does it feel different when you're talking to them, or are they fairly still guarded?
I wouldn't say guarded. I think both they're pretty good, but I just think it's a more relaxed setting when you don't have a microphone recording it or a camera in your face.
Yeah,
Like,
when
that's
they're
typical.
aware, it's a little tight.
And by the way, they'll give you a little insight for the broadcast. Like you'll hear some things on the broadcast and that will be from the production meeting, So anyway, no surprises, I think, and I don't like to bring everything from the production meeting. I don't, in fact, until the broadcast. But, I don't think we know what's kind of going on here. We know it's a big show tomorrow night with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. We know that, they're going to play the first team guys. And, I mean, Doug Peterson's already said all that stuff. Word out of Cleveland, I saw today, though, the first team offensive line might not play.
Wow.
And so that's what a buddy of mine in Cleveland told me. So that's pretty interesting because one of the big missions of the Jags here in this football game is to look a hell of a lot better against the run than they did last Thursday.
Well,
now they didn't have everybody playing, but they had most of their starters playing on defense, and they didn't look good against the run.
But what you're saying is if they do look good, it might be somewhat of a false positive.
It'd be a little bit with a caveat, but they also know like the mindset of the Cleveland Browns is to run the football.
Yeah.
Whether you have the first team guys in, second team.
I mean, they got
guys.
the personnel to do it for sure, right?
I'd like to see the first team guys in, but hey, building a little confidence. More and more I talk to this team, especially these guys individually, and not today, just in the production. I mean, I'm just talking when we do one-on-one interviews, and you'll hear from Jawan Taylor a little bit later, is that, listen, they know their capabilities, but you need to see positive things. Like confidence is king around here. You need to start seeing some things. So do you need 2 drives of 14 points? No. But do you see like a play here or a play there where you're exploiting a defense or you're being able to push a defense around, or on the other side of the ball, you can stop the run. You can stop Nick Chubb, and contain him. Like those are confidence builders. Like Trevor Lawrence is coming off so far, first few weeks of camp, that's been outstanding. Really good. Can he now bring that into the game and draw more confidence and build more confidence, as they say, stack days? And so I think there's an element to that. And, one of my big mantras all the time in the preseason is, okay, if the LA Rams can go not play a starter and go to the Super Bowl. If some teams can go 0-4 and then go have great years. If the Detroit Lions, I think it was, went 4-0 in the preseason one time, then went 0-16. Okay? 4-0 and 0-16.
Yeah.
Like, if that can happen, then what is the takeaway from the preseason? Like, what are you learning?
Yeah.
And I understand, like, you got game reps are game reps, but what is the translation from what we see these next couple of weeks to the season? And I don't say just we, like, for them.
It is interesting in that, you look at a sport like baseball, right? You get into the exhibition season. You may have a starter go out there and the manager's like, hey, I only want you to work with breaking stuff. I just want you to focus on that kind of thing.
That's good. Secondary pitches,
right.
yeah.
But, like, you never really, or maybe you do and we just don't hear about it, but you never really hear about the stories where, like, Doug Peterson pulls Trevor over to the side and goes, this quarter, it's just screens. We're not doing anything else here. This quarter, it's just running up the gut. We're just making sure everyone's communicating the right way in the center of the line. We're not going to focus on anything else. So, I don't know. I think that coupled with the fact that you have so few games as a fan to really enjoy football throughout the year. You only get 17 plus, maybe 20 games if you have a good team that, even these preseason games light people up, get them so excited. They want to believe they mean something, even though you kind of know they don't.
Well, they don't, but I do think for the fans, and the media, we overblow everything.
They'll overvalue it, yeah.
But at the same time, there is value inside the building in these games, in these reps. And
but to specific
I'll
things.
give you one specific thing. From a Josh Allen standpoint, it's conditioning, he said. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like how you practice or how you're going to play 60 plays in a game or whatever, that's a good deal. So they want to see where all the stuff they did in the offseason, the work they put in to get their bodies in the shape that they're still some 30 days away from the regular season, so they still have time to even get in more shape. But you better be in pretty darn good shape. You don't want to be gassed out there on the first 3 plays, right?
Sure, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that makes sense to me because that's a different animal. I mean, going to practice field to a preseason. And by the way, preseason to the regular season is even another hyped up different animal. You can gas yourself out by the entrance music, So that's a concrete thing of, okay, I get that. Like Josh Allen's played in the league for a while. He doesn't need to get a sack to feel good about his performance. Right. We might, but he doesn't. And so that part I thought was pretty interesting. And it makes sense. So it's common. The bottom line is in the preseason, there's no blueprint, though. And that's the thing. Everybody does it a different way. If you have a young team, an old team, whatever kind of makeup of your team, some coaches don't play anybody. Some coaches play everybody. And we're learning about Doug Peterson that he sees value in the preseason and playing this football team, especially a young football team. So we get that tomorrow night on Fox. 36:30 countdown to kickoff, and the game will kick at roughly 7:07 against the Browns. And big story, of course, continues to be Deshaun Watson. One thing that we didn't talk about yesterday, and this got brought up a little bit in conversation today, and I wonder about it. Deshaun Watson, could the NFL rule before tomorrow night's game?
Oh. So then if they ruled in the way that I believe they'll rule, which is
he could not play.
Goodell getting their way, he wouldn't be allowed to play.
Yeah, that is correct. If they were to rule before tomorrow night, he could not play in the game. Now, it took them like 8 months to do the 6th game. So the idea that they're going to get it done in 2 days is not one that I will believe until I see.
But they want an expedited ruling.
Exactly.
Now, the NFL also said they're not going to, force the ruling by X time, right?
I don't believe that.
But it goes to the point of Casey brought up yesterday. Do they want this guy in the playoffs? Do they want this guy in the Super Bowl, given the whole situation? Well, do they want this guy center stage tomorrow night? Because as I've said for the last 24 hours, this is the biggest story in the NFL tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
The Jags against the Browns in the first quarter, Deshaun Watson against Trevor Lawrence. So I didn't think about it that way, guys. As we're digesting everything that was happening yesterday, him named the starter. But it is pretty fascinating. The NFL could rule. And by the way, Friday news dump is a great time to dump.
Oh, yeah,
right?
because the weekend comes and everyone just forgets by Monday, too.
I mean, could we get a situation that 4:42
pull him
tomorrow,
off the field or something?
The NFL says, hey, you're done for the season?
I
And
buy
he
that.
can't play at 7 o'clock in Jacksonville?
Here's why I buy it, Casey, because Roger Goodell has made it clear he has no interest in seeing Deshaun Watson on that field. But last season wasn't a Goodell call. That was Watson on his own. So, Watson needed to clear up those civil cases to really make his efforts look better. And the fact is, it just took too long to do it. If he would have cleared up those civil cases in the way that he just recently did, had he done that last year, you might have seen him back on the field last year.
Yeah, I just think that in terms of what the Browns have come out and said, that he's going to start. If they're not playing their first-team offensive line, that leads me to believe Brissett's not going to play.
Right.
I feel like they would need to bring another quarterback if this was a possibility. So if they haven't signed one, because they're not going to come with just two that can play, because what if one of them gets hurt? Then you're in serious trouble.
I thought they had 3.
They've got Brissett, Watson, Rosen, and Dobbs. But I'm saying...
You mean somewhat like a starter caliber?
Well, no, I'm just saying if they decided... Last week, he's not playing, and he doesn't even bring his helmet.
It doesn't seem like he's playing, right?
Yeah.
If they're not putting out the first-team offensive line out, the chances are Brissett's not.
But you can play with 2.
It's risky.
Yeah, it is a little risky. But
I would think that if they knew that was something was coming, they sign a quarterback right now and bring him, and worst-case scenario, hands it off for 2 quarters if something gets dicey with one of your other quarterbacks.
Yeah,
who are you signing? Because apparently...
the dude that was just here in Jacksonville. He doesn't have to go anywhere. Slaughter?
Slaughter?
What was that guy's name?
Slaughter,
Kyle?
yeah. Kyle Slaughter. So, yeah, that's an interesting call. I mean, I think they feel probably they can get away with it. It also, doesn't it shed some light on why they're playing Watson in this game?
A little bit.
It might be the only time they play him.
Might get to see him once. Yeah.
Like, this really might be it. And if, let's just say they rule on Tuesday of next week, and then he's done for the year.
Yeah.
And by the way, the more and more conversation I had, like, today about it, it does, I think I'm leaning a little bit more toward you, Aaron, where this really could, or maybe it was you, Casey, this could really end up at a year.
I said a year.
Okay, so the NFL.
So did I.
Yeah, so maybe both of you guys. Because I think it could still end at 10 or 12 games.
Come
but the
on,
more and more I
Shiny.
think of, I mean, this really is Goodell's guy.
Yeah, man.
You know, I mean, so Goodell's got to get what he wants.
Yes, that's why
in
he
just
picked
a
him.
roundabout way. And by the way, it's a send. You almost have to send a message to the league, to everybody else. Like, listen, you're not going to get off.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like a law and order guy like Goodell for the last, decade, 20 years has been going out there and just maybe even some people consider overreaching on these penalties, right? So then comes this big case, and it's the first one under this newly negotiated CBA rule where you need the independent judge, but you can appeal it. Like, Goodell wrote in or had his team write in that part where he gets to appeal and pick his guy because he's not going to allow players to tell him how the league's going to go. That's just not who he has ever been.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest though, if I'm the league, like I hate this whole thing. Like I hate even saying it, but like this is what I believe. If I'm the league, I'd want him to play tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wait, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Just for the what? For the press? Like they don't need that press.
Yeah, let's just see what happens.
Well,
TV views are going to be good. Everyone's going to be talking
preseason.
about it. Yeah, exactly.
No, man.
I'm telling you. I bet low-key they want him to play a little bit.
I thought a little bit about this, and you know the business of research, right? From in the radio
From a media
world.
standpoint, yeah.
And this is a little bit of an unofficial research project
Into
for the
what?
NFL before they rule to see how many people are bothered by the fact that he's playing. Like they can feel the blowback, see the blowback. What's the reaction? And even by this third party guy who's again kind of connected to Goodell, maybe they see, hey, this isn't as big of a PR nightmare as we thought it could be. Maybe we don't need to suspend him for a year. Maybe we can have one of the stars quarterbacks in the league play.
So I believe that happens with companies sometimes, especially when they're not sure what reactions to what's happening are going to be. They do a little toe dip or focus group, so to speak.
Yeah.
I just find it hard to believe that Roger Goodell is that guy at all. To me, it makes way more sense that he's always been this is how I feel, this is how it's going to be, because I'm the commissioner guy. And I just think he's looking at this, and he's clearly, at least by his words, like offended by the accused crimes of Deshaun Watson. Like Goodell seems like significantly offended in his sensibilities to the point where he's commenting to the media against his legal representation's best advice. I mean, he may be screwing his own court case. He's putting his opinion out there. I think he's hot about it, and he wants everything he can get.
Yeah, and again, I think it does go back to you want to get your way at the end of the day. So it'll be interesting to see the reaction. It's hard to feel the reaction here, and maybe that's in every NFL city outside of Cleveland, or maybe people are just done with the story a little bit and say, all right, just get it over and done with. We're not on Deshaun's side, but like I'm tired of talking about it. Like it could be to that point.
Do you think the views will be better on Fox 30 or worse because he plays?
It's a good question. We're talking about this. Like, I don't know if we saw a ticket spike. You know, one thing that helps the tickets and even the viewers is the first team playing, right? So we know that's happening. So Doug Peterson saying that on Wednesday, you get to see Trevor and Doug and all this stuff. Like, this is the debut, technically. And keep in mind, there are only 9 home games this year in Jacksonville. So to watch Trevor play, to watch this new look offense play, to watch Travis Etienne play, like that's pretty significant that you can go watch a game. So I think there was a little uptick probably there. I don't think that Deshaun Watson did that, Casey, and that doesn't surprise me. I think the Deshaun Watson thing is less about Jacksonville and ratings on Fox 30, and it's more about the country talking about this game. NFL Network, Good Morning Football, ESPN, NFL Live, whatever they do, KJM, all those things, right? Like KJM. I think they're the ones talking about it. And that puts Jacksonville in the conversation because there's a footnote to that. People are going to be like, oh, by the way, get the other national championship quarterback, the good guy, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. How's he going to look, right? Travis Etienne. What about that big contract we were all talking about with Christian Kirk? Although I still think I think it's doubtful Kirk plays because of the ankle stuff. But, you have Trayvon Walker, the number 1 overall pick. So it leads you into Jaguars conversations, not in a negative light. It's actually in a positive light because it's the alternative to what they're presenting Deshaun as right now. And so that's where I think the enormity of this game in first quarter and first hour doesn't necessarily exist in Jacksonville. It's more on the whole platform of the NFL across the country.
I will say this. If they find a way to stop him from playing tomorrow without making the ruling final with an injunction or whatever, if they find some weird NFL rule or the Browns decide to pull him last minute, that tells me he's not getting on a field this year at all.
That'd be cool if something happened.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Like they had to pull him off in practice. It'd be, I mean, like at the bare minimum, it'd probably be nothing, but it'd be interesting if like we had to watch somebody walk out there and he walks off the field. Like just that moment.
Very memeable moment.
Yeah, that'd be something.
A couple other headlines, by the way. My Ashland University guy, Adam Shaheen, didn't pass his physical today.
Oh, no.
Voiding his trade to the Texans, and he goes back to the Dolphins, according to Aaron Wilson.
So the Dolphins are fine if he failed the physical, but the Texans aren't.
Yeah.
Dolphins don't really have a choice.
Well, they don't have a choice. They got to take him back. I don't even know what he was nursing, like what kind of injury.
Maybe they may not have to keep him.
So he's going to get cut, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I would assume he'll get cut.
Shaheen.
Maybe he'll be a contributor of our show, another Ashland guy.
Let's bring it.
Sooner or later.
He's a Dolphin, Aaron. How do you feel about that?
I feel bad for him. I hope they take pity on him and cut him so he doesn't have to live through this disaster season they're about to go through. And by the way...
Yeah, because the Houston one's going to be so much better.
Well, look, I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just saying that Dolphin season is going to be bad. And now... And we could talk about it maybe a little later, maybe during football at 5, but we're not hearing great things out of Patriots camp either.
No, and I think that's a story. And I actually want to, in our title today, Casey said Tom Brady stepping away from Bucs. Not forever.
You should have seen what Aaron wanted me to put.
Now, boy named Sue responded, Tom Brady didn't step away from the Bucs. Well, he did for a couple of days.
He did until August 20th.
All you have to do, boy named Sue, is finish the sentence for us. But, yeah, for a few that's
literally what
Schefter
tweeted.
Say it again.
It's an interesting story.
Very interesting. First of all, you've never heard of that before. Well, it's not like anyone's never stepped away from a team, but a guy Brady's stature, that big a star, in that position on a team as the quarterback, like the leader of leaders in every sport. The quarterback is the euphemism. And he's like, you guys practice, you guys figure it out. I'll be back in a few weeks. I've got to do something. And I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Of course not.
Kyle
Very
Trask.
mysterious. Very mysterious.
Are there any... So the crazy part about this is I'm actually at a meeting. You send that text like Brady's stepping away.
Yep.
And then I go to the grocery store, and I was picking up just something quick. And in line at the grocery store, I see whatever magazine, and it's like this big cover that I sent you guys. It's like Brady and Giselle, big problems. I mean, is it at-home problems, potentially? I mean,
it
is
would
that
make
one
sense
of the candidates?
to me.
Like,
oh,
No.
yeah.
No.
I know Casey doesn't buy it, but listen.
Like, I understand those are tabloids. I'm just saying, like, an hour after
Sure.
this story came out, I saw that
But who
at
gets
the grocery store.
Who gets the divorce news right first? It's always the tabloids and TMZ and these people. TMZ was the outlet I sent you. The tabloids is what you sent me. Here's the thing.
No chance.
What else would pull him away from football for 2 weeks?
He's old. He's like, I'm not gonna lose my job
But why not show up and help the young guys?
Well,
because I don't want to.
I will say this.
Touchdown Tommy.
I got to be careful. So you guys talk for...
I was just going to say that when the tabloids say the construction is stopped on the Miami mansion, that's a big deal if that's true.
Okay, so here's what on a very serious tone. I mean, not to say that their marriage is very serious as well, but it's not tabloidy, this one. I mean, could this have to do with his mom?
Maybe.
Who was, in recent years, sick.
Right.
Yeah.
But
then why
I
so
haven't
specific?
heard anything on her. Well, because maybe just wants to remain private in that respect.
Till August 20th, though?
Well, maybe maybe there's a surgery or maybe there's a
It's also August 20th is the day
Or-
of their last preseason game, I think. And then he comes back after that.
Yeah. But outside of
still.
that, it could be something because there has been with his mom in the past.
It could.
It could be some family circumstance which you would think would contribute to either mom or dad, or it could seriously be something but he's not going to fix anything at home. In his marriage in 8 days.
No, I don't think the plan, if this is true, if it's the marriage thing, I don't think the plan is to fix it. I think the plan is to get the lawyers and mediators there and to do your negotiations, intense negotiations over the next, 9 days. Figure out how you're splitting up $600 million between the two of you. Figure out your custodial rights and your visitation and figure out who gets this mansion and that mansion. And then he goes back to work.
There's no way.
You don't think it's that?
Nah.
Well, listen, first of all, it's not far-fetched in anybody's life.
Especially for an athlete, by the
No,
way.
and the retirement plays in that she wanted him to retire. He did, and he
Exactly,
went back.
and
It
that's
makes
it, right?
sense, but I think that's just what people are doing.
Yeah.
I think, it makes sense. I'm going to connect it there.
I'm actually a little bit uncomfortable even suggesting that they're having marital problems. How the hell am I supposed to know? I'm just saying 2 hours after that thing came out, I saw in again, these tabloidy headlines.
You're uncomfortable. It makes me giddy. He deserves some heartbreak. How many freaking times he broke my heart?
That article, by the way, said there's $600 million at stake and if potential problems
And it's
exist
her
in
money.
their marriage.
It's her money. It's not his. Not his. That's her
crazy.
dough. He's
She
gotta
makes
get all
more
of
than
it.
him?
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
he's
She's
just
worth
chilling.
over $1 billion, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She
What
got
you gotta do,
makeup
Tommy?
line and the modeling and all, and she comes from a very rich family. She has money from them. She's got all the money.
Can you
Jesse,
imagine,
she comes from a well-off family?
Oh yeah,
Tom's
like
gonna-
German finance or something.
What else do you know about
Brazilian
supermodels?
finance? Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
You asked the wrong guy, bro. He'll start spitting facts. There's no doubt.
Not on microphone. I won't.
Supermodel of the day here on ESPN 690.
I did look her up when I heard that she had
No
more
way.
money than.
Come on.
Brent. Funny you should mention Brent. I have looked her up and down, but when I heard she had more money than him, I was like, "What's that about?" And then it turns out she's got all the money, and he's just made a mere bag of shells from the NFL.
That's it.
Mere bag of shells.
We take a break. We'll talk more Jags. Tom Brady news is very interesting, at least even though we don't know what it is. So how interesting can
I
we
got a theory.
explore
Boy can
it?
wish.
Theory for Casey. And the New England Patriots story is Mac Jones does not play tonight. They play tonight, but there are some troubling almost reports from a football standpoint out of New England. What does it all mean? And how you could relate that to a team or two around the NFL that I think is a story that gets overlooked. We will get into that here on the show this afternoon. We'll take a break. ESPN 690 coming back here on a Thursday next.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny skies today, hot and humid, reaching the low 90s, upper 80s at the coast. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms develop this afternoon and into the early evening and make a run all the way back to the beaches. Overnight, we dry out, partly cloudy, down to the mid-70s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero-interest financing with nothing down.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call Safe Touch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those two thieves alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The Safe Touch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know we really need the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. Safe Touch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the Safe Touch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8214. 904-664-8214. That's 904-664-8214.
Koala, koala, koala insulation.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. That summer heat's right around the corner, and so are those high energy bills. Don't just sweat it out. Do something about it. Call Koala Insulation today for your free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Beat the heat at Best Bet. From the state's top poker room to live-action simulcast wagering to amazing sushi and drinks. Come experience non-stop excitement at Best Bet with great daily high hands, lots of table shares, and tons of poker cash games and tournaments. The action is sizzling. Play the hottest card games, including Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, and Pai Gow. You must be 18 years or older to play. More at bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet. Experience the best.
Call me, Mark Anajar, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Over the past 30 years, I've had people come up to me, often other lawyers, to tell me what a clever marketing idea it was for Cordell & Cordell to commit to men in divorce. Though intended as a compliment, such statements have always bothered me. For one thing, it's far from clear that a decision that's likely to disaffect half the market is a good business decision. But more troubling is the presumption that Cordell & Cordell's success is largely a result of good marketing. I think if you ask one of our 300-plus attorneys or one of our 100,000-plus former clients, that you'd hear a lot about experience, client care, and integrity. These are the much harder things that best account for the growth and reputation over time of any law firm, including Cordell & Cordell. Having said all this, I am proud of our marketing messages, and I do want guys to know that we're here to help them.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Touch a Truck is back. Join us August 27th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. with fire trucks, food trucks, police cars, and more. All at Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway. For more info, visit ESPN690.com and follow us on Facebook at Touch a Truck Jacks.
You should be panicked, because what are they confusing? And I think it's okay to start the season saying, what are the New England Patriots? We will figure them out by September, October. But I just think right now, having a conversation about New England, I don't have a lot of answers because I don't think they do.
That is Diana Rossini on the New England Patriots. Patriots have problems. What do people like to hear that?
About time. Tom and the Patriots having problems on the same day. What a moment.
Same day.
You know what's crazy is, like, in our world down here, I don't like the Titans a bit, and most people around here don't. Yet they have Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Around the league, most people don't like the Patriots. It's hard not to root for Mac Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a weird dynamic. Like, I mean, I think that's awesome, those two guys, Mac doing what he's done, and I think Derrick Henry is just an amazing story. It might be, at the end of the day, could be the greatest next to Bob Hayes to come out of here.
Sure. I think maybe you're a little sensitive to the comments I'm about to make because you're a New England guy.
No, but I'm not a Patriot guy. So
Belichick and Kraft are just evil people when it comes to the NFL. I will never allow myself to root for anything they're involved in, anything. And I'll always want it to fail. So unfortunately for Mac, nice guy, out of Jacksonville, Bowles product, right? Did I get that right this time? Thank you.
Alabama guy.
Okay, so I hope he does well. I just hope it's not on the Patriots.
I can't believe the coffee maker didn't just explode, by the way. It was making all these noises like...
It's a great thing right now. We got the coffee maker that Aaron brought in.
Oh, it's
We
brewing.
got creamer today at Publix. That's why I saw the tabloids. I'm bringing my coffee cup from down in TV. And actually, those coffees, the whatever I got over there.
8 o'clock.
I bought in Canton, Ohio, because when we went shopping, remember I told you about the shopping spree? Yeah. So I buy some like Keurig coffee.
Yeah,
the
K-Cups. Yeah.
K-Cups. Is that like common knowledge?
I think so.
And I get back and I'm like, you idiot. It's not a K-Cup. It's like a pot.
Old school.
Yeah. Who does pots of coffee anymore outside of like in places of employment,
Radio
right?
stations, yeah.
And so anyway, I have this. I'm like, hey, I'm bringing it home. I'm bringing it to the station because I knew you had the coffee maker.
I got some good K-Cups at home for, I don't know if Casey drinks coffee, but I got a sweet tooth. I got some good weird flavors like graham cracker and stuff like that.
It's done. Would you like me to bring it to you?
No, I'll get it later.
Casey's into serving us today. Let me tell you how we left lunch today. We all went to lunch together.
Oh my, don't tell this.
Casey's embarrassed. I made Casey go pull the car around front of the restaurant for me. I didn't think he was going to do it. It was a real jailhouse moment for me. I was trying to test this man's mettle.
And then he broke my door. My door now no longer functionally works. Go look in the parking lot. He broke my door.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I swear on everything. Go look at the door downstairs.
I don't know my own strength.
Yeah, so I'm going to need him to fix that.
Well,
if you know a good mechanic or body part or
body part,
not body part, car body part. If you can fix my door, hit the line.
We can make a call for that. I think. I got pulled over today.
What'd you get pulled over for? You told me this earlier.
You got pulled over today?
Yeah.
Oh, Brent Leadfoot over here?
Oh, yeah.
When?
Fast and Furious
This
going
morning.
down I-95?
So
I've seen you since then, and you didn't mention it.
I know, like, wouldn't you think I'd be in a bad mood today after getting pulled over? Get a ticket?
No, because you're Brent Martineau. I know what you did when you got pulled over. You carry a Sharpie in your bag in case you have to sign autographs. Okay?
No, I got a ticket.
What were you? Was it a speeding ticket?
Yeah.
Did you try that you know who I am?
I don't know if I should say how fast I was going.
You think it'll get you in trouble or something?
You already got the ticket, bro.
Does it get the police in trouble sometimes? Like if you take, because I didn't get.
You didn't get the ticket. All right, he gave you a little break.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you this. You were on a highway?
It would have put me in jail potentially in Arizona.
Well, probably all the states, but all right.
Were you on a highway or a not highway?
Yeah, so here's the deal. So I have a meeting at 8:30, and this time I'm not even late. I'm bringing coffee, everything like that.
Oh, by the way, meetings at 8:30 should be illegal.
I know, but I had to before FSU. I got to sneak it in, man. And it was a good meeting. But so I got coffee. I'm like, I'm doing well here. Like I'm not late.
Doing
typical.
well.
Like, hey, if Brent's not late to a meeting, that's a pretty good deal. And so, I come up from St. Johns County. It was $2.95, and now they have the Easy Pass.
Yeah, the lanes. Yeah, the
lane, right?
Express lanes.
And so I was like, you know what? I don't know traffic right now. Like I don't come up here this time of morning, and I don't want to get stuck.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll take the Easy Pass because I have it.
Oh,
I mean,
they have been putting guys in the Easy Pass lanes with the radar guns last couple of days now.
The Easy Pass might as well be the Autobahn. There's nobody
in there.
And so I'm just
flying.
I'm just cruising, man.
How many numbers?
Like
2 or 3.
No, it wasn't 3. No, I'm not like driving dangerous.
I drive that road. I drive that road you're talking about coming up. It's how I commute to work every day. And I'm telling you, even in the non-Easy Pass lane, when the speed limit is like 70, it's very easy to do 85 over there.
It's actually like
that's
65.
about what I was doing.
Is it 65?
So here's the deal. So anyway, it's a policeman on a motorcycle.
Okay.
So I don't see it.
Yeah,
from down the road
at the top of the hill,
right?
too.
So I got no chance. By the time I'm like, oh man, like I'm screwed. Like I didn't even get by him. I saw him, and I was like, I'm screwed. I was like, I'm screwed. Like I know it. And so there's one other car at the time like that I could even see. So it was just me and the freeway, baby, and I was riding free. But then there was this cop.
Oh yeah,
and he was a state trooper on a motorcycle, I think. Yeah, he would have been.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole deal, I've been pulled over in amazingly, I haven't been pulled over in years.
It's been almost a decade for me.
Last time was in Georgia.
Oh, all right.
And it was going up to
Was it by the border, the Florida-Georgia border?
It was near Valdosta.
Because they'll hang by the
they're
border.
Tough, man.
They'll
they're
nail
tough up
people
there.
yeah.
And by the way, they're like automatic points up there in Georgia,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So it's not easy. But so anyway, I know I'm done. I'm like, whatever. I earned it, you know? Like, I've been pulled over in the past. I'm like, mad. Like, you idiot. You dumbass. Like, what are you doing? You know, pay attention. All this
Like, one
stuff.
ticket's not going to kill your record. It's not going to, destroy your insurance.
Yeah. So anyway, but the best part of it, so I'm like already looking like for the registration stuff. I'm like, I've been pulled over so long, I don't even know what I have to give him. I know I got to give him my license. So I rolled down the window. Hey, he was very nice. I just said, hey, what do I even got to give you? I haven't been pulled over in forever. That's what I said to him. And so it was quick, man. License, this is my favorite part of it, if I had a favorite part of it. I remember we used to get pulled over. It seemed like it took 20 minutes.
They do that on purpose.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're just they used to sit in the car.
Yeah.
Not anymore, man. They weren't. Then they were on to the next guy sooner or later. This took 4 minutes.
I got a theory
like my
on
haircut.
that, though.
It's like took 4 minutes.
It's just as insulting.
Which was great because I had to get to the meeting.
Yeah.
So I was almost like appreciative
you were
of
happy
thanks
about
for the
that.
swiftness here. Even though he knocked it down a bit, I got a ticket out of it. I haven't even looked at
He
it.
should have given you a warning, though. You were nice to the guy.
I was going fast.
You didn't make him
man.
chase you.
No, I earned the ticket. Listen,
forget this guy.
Here's
man.
the way I look at it: is I have sped enough in my life. I've probably should have got dinged once or twice along the way, and either didn't, got a little lucky, or whatever. Not pulled. I haven't been pulled over, like I said, in years, but I earned it.
But this
I'm
is
okay
the
with
point,
it.
though.
It's like
you said,
$130.
That is not cheap. First of all. Second of all,
it would have been like. He did tell me it's like it would have been like 350 or
and
something.
bracelets, yeah.
But bracelets.
Here's
in
the point,
Arizona
though.
would have been in jail.
You say to the guy, I haven't gotten a ticket in forever. The first thing he's doing is taking your license and running it when he goes back to the car, running your driver's license and your car license.
Yeah.
He's seeing your driving record.
Yeah.
And if you're accurate, if you're telling the truth, you're not lying to the whole audience,
No,
Brett,
I'm not lying.
then he knows you're not a danger. So what is he doing besides making the city money? Like, that's not the purpose.
I have had problems with like that in the past, like when the whole quota thing and are you driving dangerous? But I was going pretty fast, I mean, I was just like, I gotta suck it up, man. I earned it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was all right with it. Like usually those things will put you in a bad mood. I was like, it's gonna happen.
There is something freeing
nobody got hurt.
to getting a ticket as an adult versus getting it as a young adult where you're still going to worry about how
you're
people
scared
react.
and stuff,
Oh,
right?
man.
I mean, those are scary moments sometimes. You
Yes.
get pulled over the
As a
first
kid?
time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy cow, what did I do? My mom, dad are going to be so mad, like everything.
You ever been
And
pulled
so-
over, Casey?
Yeah. Did he know who you were or not?
No,
God,
he didn't.
with this.
Because, again, like the state guys don't know who you Like, I don't even know where they're located. Are they
Well,
in
that
here?
one was in Jacksonville.
Yeah, FHP, I think, is out of Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
he
they
didn't know.
should have known.
But the other part of that is sometimes
That's the first question, by the way. I later would say to the meeting, and I like told them the story. Like, did they know who you were? It's like, no, I guess not. I guess I'm not on TV enough.
It's a great question.
You need more camera time. I would think it might make someone more mad, especially if you're not like super nice to the cop.
No, like
He's like, look at this TV guy thinking he knows who he is. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give him 3 tickets.
That guy at his dinner table tonight saying, I got Martineau today.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
especially if he doesn't like one of your takes on one of his teams. What if he's a Gator?
Yeah, talk more Gators. So, it was kind of funny, though. The whole thing
man.
was like, well. But I will say this. You know what happens? And this is why sometimes it's probably good. This is why you need to be slapped on the wrist sometimes.
All right.
Right? Because now the rest of the day, which, by the way, I'm like running all over the place today. We've got meetings out
But you're
pretty tight.
super by the book.
Well, I don't know about by the book. But every time I got going a little bit, I was like, oh, damn, I can't get 2 in one day. Like you're now like aware of it.
Yeah.
So now you're kind of, because there are a lot of times that I'm just like this morning where, I doubt there's going to be,
Well,
I don't think like, hey, what if there's a cop here?
You
right?
go with the flow of traffic, and sometimes the flow of traffic has you going 85, 90 miles an hour.
Sometimes there's nothing in front of you.
Yes.
When's the last, so you said 10 years?
It's been about 10 years, but when I first moved here, it was a mess for me. I was used to New York driving. Anyone who's driven up in New York knows a bunch of jerks driving up there. Lanes are merely a suggestion. Like, it's just madness. You move down here, it's so much better to drive. I got 3 speeding tickets within a month. And so I got the first 2, and I hired one of these traffic lawyers. And he goes, I'll go take care of it at the court. He got all the points knocked off.
All right.
I still had to pay all the fines.
Points are big.
But the points were going to mess up my insurance, right? So you got all the points taken away. I still paid the fines. I was good with that. Cost of doing business. Okay. No points. 2 weeks later, I get a ticket. I try to hire the same traffic attorney. They're not available. I hire a new one. They go to court. They said the judge yelled at the attorney and were mad that my name was on the docket for the third time that month. So she gave me, instead of the 4 points from the ticket, gave me 6 points.
Oh.
Giving me some of the points back from the last one, and I had to take a 12-hour course.
I've had to do the course before.
And the course, it's not like you could just turn it on and walk away.
Nah,
they
you
like
gotta do
check
it.
that you're still there, and they're asking you questions
You
about
actually
yourself.
learned some things, though.
I did. It was a lot about emotional intelligence while driving. I was like, really? Are we like touchy-feely when it comes to like no turn on red? What are we talking about?
Casey, how
here?
many tickets on your name?
0.
Oh, that's
Wow.
good.
But you've got pulled over.
Speeding tickets, 0.
But you got
Parking
pulled
tickets,
over.
85.
Oh,
Yes.
Parking tickets, whatever. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I have been pulled over, yes.
Yeah. So, anyway, we'll see what. Now I got to be careful for the next, however. Plus, my kids are driving now. What are they going to think of this?
Just don't tell them.
Oh, I just tweeted it.
It's not good at keeping
We just
secrets.
turned it into a radio segment. I mean,
they don't listen, and you don't even let your kids have Twitter. Kaylee had it, you didn't even know. So, like, Ty doesn't follow you, bro, unless you tell him.
Yeah, drive slow.
Still able to keep the
Don't
kids
drive
off
like
social
you're-
media, huh?
Not really. They're on it. They'll find it. Let's just say that. All right.
Let me tell you something about Brent, helicopter parent.
Yeah. Scott says he didn't appreciate your swiftness.
My swiftness.
Why am I a helicopter parent? What is even the definition of that, by the way?
Someone
I'm not
who's
a helicopter
like
parent.
overbearingly
You
parenting their children.
You definitely are.
That's
How's
what he's
that?
saying.
How am I overbearingly?
You don't let him on the
Parenting.
social media.
That's
Because
not
I
a
don't
helicopter
want, I
thing.
don't. First of all, they're not allowed on social media.
No, there's other things. What's it? No TVs in the rooms, right? There's like a phones rule.
with you.
When
I'm
they
with
go
you.
to bed, they don't have their phones upstairs, so
That's
they're on
right.
until 3 in the morning. They get sleep instead. That's fine.
I'm with you.
They don't have TVs in the room, not because I don't want it. They just nobody's asked for a TV. In
I'm
their
with you
room.
too. When I was a kid, I had it. My kids don't have it.
And outside of that, I don't. Oh, we don't. They're not on Snapchat.
Because you can't find the messages after they disappear.
Well, I don't like. I think it's more Steph thing. Like I don't police the phone as much as Steph does. She's got to deal with that more.
I'm with you.
But yeah,
Brent.
they're not on Snapchat. And by the way, their life is fine.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this stuff, I want to prove to the kids, like you're not missing out. Like your life is fine.
Well, they are missing out, but they're also missing out on the stuff that gets them in trouble.
Well, that's it. Like they're okay.
Yes.
Says you.
I'm with you, Brent. I think you're doing
They
a
have
good job.
a couple of friends.
I'm not letting my daughter on yet. She's younger than your kids, but I'm not doing it.
Don't speed, kids. Be safe out there. It wasn't even the end of the month either. But I'm telling you, it was 4 minutes. That's awesome.
That is pretty good.
And by the way, the nice fella had the radar gun as I was pulling out, back out again.
Oh, yeah,
The
making more
next
money.
guy, that next sucker got another one in about 2 minutes, probably.
Making it rain for the city of Jacksonville. Come on.
We'll be back on ESPN 690. Thanks for all the support on the Dream 18 cards. We sold out of Dream 18 cards, and we're raising more funds for local charities through the Dream 18. Coming up next, it's a Dream 18 golf tournament, September 19th at the Golf Club at Southampton. Registration is now open. We'd love you to be a part of it. Buy a foursome, or maybe just play on an individual basis. Maybe it's a T sign. Get your company involved. Here's how you register. Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. September 19th at the Golf Club of Southampton. Play on our Dream 18 Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. Looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
At Wrangler, we know that life is all about taking the reins, no matter what's in front of you or which way the road turns. Because life is one big glorious ride, and Wrangler jeans are made to handle every step of it. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Wrangler is made for those moments when your heart says go and you follow it beyond what's expected. Because when the heart calls, you gotta be ready in jeans that are made to move and built to last. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call Safe Touch, but no, you tried to save $1. So when those two thieves broke it, Safe Touch cameras would have alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The Safe Touch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know we really need the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. Safe Touch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the Safe Touch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Happy anniversary to them. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. I've had mine for a handful of years now. Absolutely love it at the house. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now, you can take advantage of the $75 drain cleaning special. Call for details. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
I'm getting my kids ready for back to school. I'm Heather. I'm a Jacksonville mom, and every morning I start my day with Action News Jax.
Welcome, everyone, to Action News Jax.
I'm Jada from Orange Park. I watch Garrett for my weather.
We are seeing some clouds.
He's a certified meteorologist, and his forecasts are always the most accurate.
And I'm Lisa from Fruit Cove. I can't waste time in the morning.
We've got some breaking news this morning.
Action News Jax gives me what I need so I can get my day started.
So we're telling moms everywhere to do what we do. Start your morning with Action News Jax.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
An appliance? Shop the new appliance truckload event at Lowe's, going on now. From refrigerators and ranges to dishwashers and laundry pairs, we have a large selection of appliances from the brands you trust. Plus, get store-wide savings by shopping other in-stock categories. Go to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowes.com to shop the appliance truckload event and find what you need now. While supplies last, valid through 8/17.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with the ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
He needs to get the reps, especially in a new offense, right? This is going to be his first go-round trying to operate Brian Daboll's system, so you want to be able to get him those live reps. And I get that joint practices play a role in that, and the Giants are slated to have some this preseason, but also being in an actual game situation, right? Having to go from series to series, looking at the pictures on the sidelines, and then trying to make adjustments. Those things matter in terms of being able to get Daniel Jones to a place where he's able to be more productive than we've seen him in his first 3 years.
Kind of a fascinating game tonight in the NFL from a storyline perspective. I mean, we got a big one tomorrow, of course, but Daniel Jones, this is it for him now. Not tonight, but like this year. He has got to get it going. Will he get it going under Daboll is something to watch. I mean, the Giants are a fascinating team. They have some parts that you can buy into. I know some people feel differently about it, but they have some things that you can be like, okay, if that works, yeah, they got playmakers. I can see it, right? But is it enough? And I don't think they're there yet. How much does a difference does Daboll make? Like, which one of these head coaches that haven't really done it before are going to do well, and which ones are going to really struggle? All the way out to Nathaniel Hackett, back here to Brian Daboll in New York. And then the Patriots side of this is apparently they look like crap in camp. Like, according to I mean, Diana Rossini has reported on it a little bit. There's others who have reported on it.
Everybody out of Patriots camp is going, this is ugly.
And Mac Jones isn't going to play, which, again, that's not alarming when guys don't play anymore in the preseason. But if you're not looking good, why isn't Belichick playing him? And also, how hard of a time are they having transitioning to an offense that doesn't include Josh McDaniels?
Yeah, I think that's what everyone is intimating, right? That's the implication, is that nothing really has changed here outside of the fact that you got Belichick now with the headset on offense and defense, and McDaniels is out of town.
So they're not getting good reviews. Matt Patricia apparently is the guy on the headset. I think on KJM this morning, they had Mike Reese on who covers the Patriots, and I was listening while I was pulled over, and he said, like, who does he trust? Like, who does Mac go to right now? With Josh McDaniels not there, and some of it was Patricia, a little Belichick because he's more involved. But really it's an I don't know kind of answer right now in New England. And I don't know if we give enough credit when the offensive coordinators leave. That's why I say look out in Buffalo for a little bit of a regression potentially with that offense and Josh Allen with Daboll gone. They hit it off. They had a great connection. They had success. Well, look at McDaniels over the years in New England. He was much better served as an OC, as a head coach. He got them clicking. He did a good job with Mac last year. He was very good in that role. Doesn't mean you're going to be good in the head coaching role. So I don't know if we talk about those guys departing enough and the continuity that we always say maybe on the flip side for teams like the Jags, where you go through 3 coordinators in 3 years. That's a negative. Well, when you lose a guy that's been around you for X amount of time, how damaging is that to your growth and the continuity of your success? I think we're about to find out in a couple of different ways in the AFC East with Josh Allen and with Mac Jones.
I think we talk a lot about how players might react when their coordinators leave or when the playbook changes, but what about the head coach? I mean, he's gotten used to a certain way of doing things now for years with Josh McDaniels, and now it's all switching up for him as well. At the same time that his team is changing and the league is changing, like, how many different things are you able to focus on to really excel? I think we're going to find out soon enough from the New England Patriots.
Well, and the one thing Buffalo has going for him, first of all, Josh Allen is ahead of where, like, Mac Jones is in his career by years and also by growth in what he's been able to do. They're also a better football team around Josh Allen. I mean, listen, the Patriots are the Patriots, but the Patriots are not, like, littered with talent all over the field. Let's not
Stephon
mistake
Diggs
that,
on
right?
the Patriots. No Von Miller on the Patriots.
And they've lost some talent over the years. So Mac has to make more with little and now without Josh McDaniels. So, like, you guys don't seem to agree. Like, Casey, I think we've talked about this before. You don't think Buffalo will take a step back at all, huh? You think Josh Allen just keeps cruising even though Daboll's now in New York with the Giants?
Yeah.
I actually think they have a better record this year.
Yeah, that'd be
What
fine.
was their record last year?
I think they had 11 wins, 11 or 12 wins.
Yeah, 12 sounds right.
But they're going to be an elite team just because they're playing. Now you've got every team in their conference getting worse over the last 4 or 5 days, and
that's fair.
And they're still okay. But you got the Jets losing maybe 2 tackles, certainly the right tackle. You got the problems that I've documented with the Dolphins that you guys don't believe in.
Will be fine, but yeah.
And the
Jets,
Patriots are looking gross too.
Who has more what quarterback has more riding on this season more than Daniel Jones in the NFL? Anybody?
There's
Drew Lock.
Yeah, but
not really,
Drew Lock,
though.
Isn't he already appeared to be a stopgap guy?
Yeah, he's a starter by default. Daniel Jones is supposed to be the future.
Daniel Jones have a big year. He's going to be the quarterback for the next few years.
Yeah.
So is Drew Lock.
Well, I guess that's fair. If he has like a big year, you don't have to then invest in QB.
Marcus
but do you think
Mariota.
Drew Lock has more to prove?
No.
Yeah,
Nah,
so
man.
Daniel Jones. Marcus Mariota is a good one. Like, kind of could rekindle his career. Trubisky fits in the Mariota conversation of
But
this,
do you
I
think
Davis
Atlanta
Mills?
sticks with Mariota if he has a good year? I don't.
I don't either. That's,
So, like, I don't know
And
what
I
he's
don't
got
think
there to
even
prove.
if Trubisky does well, I think they're going to pick it at some point.
Of course.
Then Davis Mills.
Davis Mills is good, yeah, because they could hold off
They could
an
keep him.
investment in a young quarterback.
But the expectation is, like, I still think Daniel Jones comes with an expectation, even though you haven't seen him do it for a full season. You've seen glimpses. So I think they want to believe there, but if it's not him this year, he's out. He's done.
And he ain't getting a second opportunity like some of these guys.
Maybe not. No.
I'll tell you what, I will not be on the second quarterback train with Daniel Jones.
I'm more of a
sir.
Daniel Jones fan than anybody that's ever existed in this studio. We'll
In
be
the
back.
world. Parents
ESPN.
included.
How did
Daniel
Florida State
Jones'
look?
mom is like, thanks, Brad.
How did Florida State look at UNF today? We'll get into that on ESPN 690.
Guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home hassle-free. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry, so you can sell your home stress-free and make the most money. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. When you get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, Diane, said, I sold my home with Mark Spain Real Estate and was able to stay in my home until I found my new one. Thank you so much for making this a stress-free situation. I've been in business for nearly 30 years and have served over 44,000 satisfied clients, and I know what matters most, a quick sale and maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Certain restrictions apply.
If you want to hit the road this summer in a fuel-efficient ride that's just right for the journey ahead, then listen up, because you need to rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. If you've tried to rent lately, then you know rental companies are short on inventory, but not our friends over at Arlington Toyota Rent-A-Car. Arlington has a whole lot of rental stock ready to rent at a great price. Plus, renting a Toyota is the best way to try it before you buy it. 2022 models to rent. Just go to arlington.com, reserve your rental, and discover just how good Toyota Rent-A-Car can be.
Best Bet St. Augustine is hiring with competitive pay. Work at St. Augustine's newest attraction that'll be opening soon. Best Bet St. Augustine is hiring line cooks, servers, chip runners, mutual tellers, landscape workers, porters, maintenance workers, and vault helpers. No experience is required. You must be 18 years or older to apply. Apply online at bestbetjax.com or interview in person at Best Bet St. Augustine, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Best Bet St. Augustine, 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311 on I-95.
It's back to school time, which means it's back to fall sports time, too. Elevate your game by elevating your lifestyle at iCryo in St. Johns County. The Pavilion at Durbin Park. There's something for everyone at iCryo, a student-athlete pass, a student pass. You don't have to be an athlete to take care of your body at iCryo. And for coaches and teachers, you can get a free lifestyle service. Jump in the cryotherapy chamber, get red light therapy, sauna, or compression, too. iCryo in St. Johns County. Elevate your lifestyle as you head back to school and work.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-326-7765 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-326-7765. That's 800-326-7765. What do you have to lose? Call 800-326-7765. Again, 800-326-7765.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
Doug Brown with breaking news. After the players who wear it now, no other NBA players will ever wear the number 6. The league will retire the number in honor of the late Bill Russell, who died almost 2 weeks ago. It's the first league-wide retired number. The Ravens host the Titans tonight. Preseason opener for both teams. ESPN's Jamison Hensley believes Lamar Jackson will be on the field for the regular season opener, even without a new contract.
For a player that was even thinking about not stepping on the field in week 1, I think he would probably have been doing what they call the hold-in, report to training camp, but not participate in any of the drills. Lamar Jackson has been out there every single day.
Jamison Hensley on Key J and Max. Bills quarterback Josh Allen will sit out Saturday's preseason opener against the Colts. Quarterback Mitch Trubisky will start the preseason opener for the Steelers against the Seahawks on Saturday night. Mason Rudolph and rookie Kenny Pickett will also get some snaps in that game for Pittsburgh.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
If Daniel Jones was drafted by the New England Patriots and put in the same position Mac Jones is, are we seeing the same sort of results?
It's Friday with KJ and Max. It all starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine Studios. This is Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
He didn't want to take away reps from Blaine and Kyle, and as well as Griff, as far as going into these next two games, and it's something he needs to handle. We trust him. We talked about it. It was scheduled way before training camp, and he will not be here until after Tennessee. Yeah, if he didn't have the years and the experience that the guy has and comes in and works diligently, I would definitely be concerned. It's a personal issue, and that's all I can tell you.
I told you.
Here's the problem. Here's why it's a lie.
That was Todd
Bowles, right?
That is Todd Bowles. Yeah.
Here's why it's a lie.
Because you don't like Todd Bowles.
Personal issue. Okay. You don't want to talk about it. That's fine. It's his business. How do you schedule it before training camp?
Playing surgery, bro. One of the family members. Guaranteed. Mark it down,
is that
close it
your
out.
theory?
Actually, no. My theory. Thanks for asking, Brent. Appreciate it. My theory is this. Do you know who owns Manchester United?
Yeah, Glaziers.
Do you know what else they own?
The Bucs.
Yeah, bingo. Now, everybody's very upset with how Manchester United has been handled with the players they've signed or haven't signed. Cristiano Ronaldo wants out. There's a big thing there. Tom Brady and Ronaldo have a very good relationship. I think they're going to push the Glazers out of Manchester United either way. They're going to force to sell. I think they're selling to Brady.
He doesn't have the money for it.
On a deal.
He would not need time out of camp.
Yes, he would.
To buy Manchester United.
You got to go over there. You got to sign some players.
Also, Manchester United is probably like a $4.5 billion club.
And by the way,
he's got some people in.
Like, why would you do that now? Do it in like March.
It was planned, right? You heard him. Well, the transfer window's right now. You know?
Worst take I've ever heard in my life.
Personal reasons. I'm going to spend $400 million.
That's it. Bingo.
Crummy take Casey. That's
or $1.2 billion. Like, how much is Manchester United worth?
$4 billion. I think we just saw this the other day. It's like $4.5 billion.
It's a good take.
Casey.
Yeah.
That was not your best.
No.
Yes, it was.
That was mixing your love for Chelsea
it's a whole
in with
thing.
the NFL and ESPN 690.
Well, it's better than you two
hooligans. We got confirmed from People Magazine, bro.
Hooligans.
Listen,
I wanted to call you a lot of other things that weren't hooligans, and I didn't know what to do in the
really
moment.
did freeze up in the moment. Casey, People Magazine says that there's $600 million on the line in their divorce. Chelsea, right? That's who we're talking about, or Manchester?
No, we're talking about Manchester United.
Manchester United is worth $4.6 billion. The 0.6 in the cost for Manchester is the entire divorce conversation for the Bradys. He doesn't have the money for Manchester
He's got
United.
some other rich people. It's fine.
Brady can hardly pay Ronaldo. Or whoever you said it was.
Were we supposed to laugh?
No.
Oh.
He's just making a point.
But I mean, he probably couldn't afford him.
Yes, he could. It's not like that. That was a great take.
It was not a good
You know,
take.
do the show without me then. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Casey's taking his ball and going home.
I'll go home.
You know what the number one sign of a
He can
great
dish it
take
out.
is?
He can't take it.
No, he cannot. You know what the number one
Casey
sign?
meter just dipped to it too.
Number one sign of a great take is when you have to tell everyone how great a take it is.
That's what you've been doing for the last 2 weeks, but it's fine.
2 weeks. Try 42 years, bruh.
Hey, try that one on Middleton. See how that works.
Middleton doesn't even know soccer's a sport.
He's like, tell me buying the Lakers and LeBron.
No connections there.
I don't know what it's got to be something. It's obviously a pretty serious thing with Brady.
Clearly personal, or else he would say, because I'm sure like fans are freaking out that he's walking away, but like unprecedented, right? You don't see this.
If he ends up buying Manchester United, Brent, you have to quit.
I have to quit.
Let's make a bet.
Especially during football season. Okay, but that's a big bet.
You have to quit. You have to quit ESPN 690 if
he.
Okay.
By the way, like there goes like half your salary too.
Oh shoot.
Half.
Let me rephrase.
3/4.
Brent, you have to quit TV.
No, I'm not quitting TV.
Yeah, we'll stick with
there
ESPN
goes a lot of my
690.
salary.
Yeah.
No, crypto is not in good enough shape to quit TV on a bet.
Looking a little better though. A little better.
It's a little better.
Day by day. Climbing out of that hole.
We might have reached the bottom.
climbing out of that hole day by day. Come on.
So Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz.
I can't wait. It's going to pop up on the bottom line. You're going to be
How about this? If they buy Manchester United, I'll have to sell your show.
That's not bad. Casey, you get underwritten. You get paid.
Minimum of
the man can do it.
$10K on your show.
Oh, dang.
What do I mean? What do you mean I know the man can do it?
Yeah, he's capable of getting this money done. This man's a closer.
I'm just trying to make a bet that seems ridiculous.
He's like the Dennis Eckersley of radio sales.
But I'm not quitting.
No, I need you. You're right.
Man, I don't want to make Jacksonville that mad.
That'll be fine. I'll go with the 10K.
Love him in the chat.
We'll see what happens, but he ain't buying mention. Stepped away from the team. That would be straight out of some Ted Lasso skit.
The weirdest development in sports history.
It really would. Maybe it is smart. That'd be awesome. I mean, I feel like we're watching a movie or a documentary on Apple Plus. Apple TV Plus.
Can you imagine, by the way, the 30 for 30? This is going to be the opening scene of the movie.
Oh, man, that would be actually cool.
Because I'm the first person that suggested it. Boom, we're on 30 for 30. Next thing you know, the show blows up. I don't need Brent's 10K. I got plenty more.
By the way,
hell,
30
I'm
for
coaching
30,
Manchester
guys.
United.
I've always supported Tom Brady, so you should put me in the beginning of
Literally
that.
go back to the first hour of the show. Back to the first hour of the show.
You want to be in the 30 for 30.
Yes, I'm a big Brady fan. Big supporter.
Okay, then we're doubling down. Aaron, if this happens, you have to get a TB12 tat on your bald head.
Yeah, I'll easily do
that.
On the
head.
But
that'd be actually a better bet. I got to get TB12.
I get nothing out of it.
Yeah, it's true. You take your 10K.
I'll 10K from you, and then bald head Aaron will get TB12.
Can we get some sticky notes for this bet bucket? My bucket's right there, but I got no sticky notes.
He's got sticky notes. He's hoarding them.
This is an off-air conversation.
Oh. Sounds like someone's upset.
Yeah. I've asked for pens, papers, sticky notes. I've asked for so many office supplies. Never get them.
Along with your 10K, I'll get you some pens. Lifetime supply.
Thank you.
There we go. Are we having Jeff Colhane, new play-by-play guy, on for Florida State at 4:20?
Yeah.
So does that mean we're going to break before?
He said,
or are we going to keep it long?
He said he had a 4:00 meeting and that it wouldn't take too long. We said 4:20 just to give him a little bit of time.
Yeah, we'll break early.
Well, but a quick take today. Casey, you were out there. I went out there. I was out there just for a short time. Florida State, by the way, spirited, huh? I mean, you get out of the car in the parking lot, which is across the street. You can't even see what's going on, and it's lively.
I tell you what, I might run through a wall for Mike Norvell. I mean, he is yelling constantly. The energy is so high. His coaches do it with him. I mean, there's a lot of energy with that team, and Mike Norvell leads them, which is why, to see it in action is one thing at practice, because that's something that we can't do when they're in Tallahassee, so we see it a couple of days a year. But it's the same practice. Mike Norvell's still hot and hype, and I don't know. I like Mike Norvell for a lot of reasons. This is not one of them, but to see this in person, I'm like, you know what? This guy could motivate me, and nobody motivates me.
Well, I'll say this. That's true. We've tried.
Yeah.
At least we don't motivate you. That's
not
sure.
even close.
Get Mike Norvell in here. I'll run through the wall.
But Norvell, it's interesting you bring up Norvell. First of all, I thought the spirited work was good. I'm going to give you just a quick impression because it relates to last year. Last year when I went out there to this, and here's the deal. The FSU Seminoles football team is here for a few days. They just like to get away from Tallahassee, mix it up. And I thought it was kind of odd they came back to UNF 2 years in a row, but it shows you that they really liked it last year. They practice this morning. They practice tomorrow morning. It's not open to the public, but it's a little getaway. Then they'll scrimmage on Saturday. We'll have Jeff Colhane, the new play-by-play voice, coming on here in just a few minutes. But last year when I went over there, I was like, my goodness, they don't look like they can get off the bus and beat the best in college football. There is a look to that. Alabama's always had the look. Clemson, when they got good, had the look, right? They now jumped into that equation. Ohio State's always been there. When Florida was good, they were there. Georgia, with all their recruiting in recent years, even before they won the national title, they were get off the bus good. And that doesn't mean everything, but in big boy football, that certainly means something. I say that right now about the Jags. The Jags have athletes that they have never had, or at least recently. They just look the part so much better. They have more of those guys. They not only just have Josh Allen, they have Trayvon Walker and Devin Lloyd as well. Aluakin's a physical presence as a fast linebacker. So that does matter. It's bigger, faster, stronger. That's the world we live in. Mm-hmm. So that matters. And I really thought, my eyes just said, wow, Florida State has a long way to go in that department. I think they looked a lot better in that respect today. I just noticed a big jump.
Yeah.
Which, and I don't know what that means. Like, I'm not saying that's a jump in 2 wins. I'm just saying they look more the part. They look more like the Florida State Seminoles should look. And then you beef up the energy and everything else. The other thing, you brought up Norvell. Mike Norvell gets rave reviews. I'm telling you, rave reviews. Like, you go around and talk to people that know the program better and that were there and watching or are associated with it. And there are a few different people, some actually that used to be with the Jags, now in Florida State. And they love this guy. The energy he does bring, Casey, the attention to detail.
It's electric.
The way that he treats people, like those things. And again, doesn't buy you championships, doesn't mean you're going to win the ACC, doesn't mean you're going to be in the top 10 in the country. But these are things that Florida State, quite frankly, were void of after the great success of Jimbo Fisher, and then he kind of helped run it into the ground, and Willie Taggart. And now these are all the things Mike Norvell has had to build back up. Yeah. We said it today at lunch. We had lunch with Jeff Culhane and said, when it goes fast now, because they went from the mountaintop to the valley.
To the depths.
Big in like 3 years. 2 different coaches, 3 years, boom. And so Mike Norvell has been tasked with building all this back up, from culture to identity, to relationships, to talent, and he's still got a long way to go, quite frankly. I don't think he's there. And so that's not to tell you that Florida State has arrived, but they've come back up from a little bit of the depths. We saw Florida have to do this after the Will Muschamp era, and then even a little bit with Jim McElwain, and give credit to
Billy Napier.
No.
Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen for doing that and getting back to winning ways.
It does seem now they might be in it again.
Well, who knows? But, I mean, give credit to him. But Norvell has had to do that. He was tasked with having to do that. And quite frankly, they just haven't won enough football games. Mullen was able to win football games.
Yeah, do you think now in the new age of NIL that Florida State will be able to build that program back up to where it was?
No, I think actually it hurts them more.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the
booster.
They don't have the treasure chest that a lot of these schools do. So it might actually hurt. That's a good question. I don't know. But it's certainly part of the game.
I've definitely wondered that over the last year or two, like, who are these teams that were historically always in the AP top 25 who are just going to disappear from our radar because of this? It's got to be these state schools.
It could be.
I mean, good football teams will always have boosters, but these private schools will always have bigger boosters
what's
than
interesting
the
here
state
is
schools.
3 years ago you would have this conversation, you would say the same maybe about a Miami. Well, now Miami, like all of a sudden, the checkbook opened up in a big-time way in the last year or so.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. So FSU could. I mean, FSU's got alumni and that they can dig into those pockets if needed. But again, the money's a little different. They're playing a different money game, if we're being honest, than most of the schools in the area or the region that exist in the SEC and even the ACC partner of Clemson. Like, they're playing a different money game right now than those guys.
And I don't think it's necessarily like how much alumni do you have or how rich, but like how much does the alumni care about
winning
the football?
Yeah. How much do they need to get back to that? And I think, who knows? But Mike Norvell, it's funny. It's like I kind of think he's the guy, but will he run out of time?
Yeah, that's the question, I think. I think he is the guy. But you can't – listen, you lose to Jacksonville State. Is that who they lost to?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was bad, right? Can't have that happen again. But I think they have to continue to give him the time because really it's been a couple of years, and honestly, I'm surprised he's still there because of how fast coaches are getting fired. But I hope they keep him around because I really think he is building something pretty good. Like the recruits he has coming in, he's very good in the transfer portal. The quarterback play has been the thing for him. Jordan Travis is his guy. I mean, today just watching out there, granted it's one practice, they ain't got much else.
No, that defense was way better than the offense today.
Yeah,
right?
that was
way better.
Like we're gonna ask about that, or I'm gonna ask about that because if they look like that every day on offense, it wasn't good. It was their red zone today was.
No, red zone's hard. Red zone's hard for the offense anyway. Defense usually can shine. We see it at Jags as well. I mean, so it's a hard one just to identify and say now your offense stinks because we saw that. But I do think we got to remember now, Norvell's an offensive guy. He got Memphis cooking to score 45 points a game or whatever it was. He needs to, but as you're an offensive guy, you need to move that offense. At times last year, they were able to do that. I thought that was the plus side of last year where they were able to score in the 30, finally get some points, But then they had these lapses as well where it's like, oh my gosh, this looks so bad. But that all centers around quarterback play. The bottom line here, if Florida State, if Miami are going to figure this thing out and be a perennial contender, they better go get themselves some damn good quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
And ever since Jimbo's time when he had the 3 guys at one time, like he had a Georgia situation essentially back in 14 or 15, they've had nothing. Yeah. And they're missing on recruits too in some of those categories. Wow. That's the one vacant spot. That and you got to beef up the trenches. And I think Norvell's done a better job of beefing up that offensive line. I think that's where I see he's done a better job than previous regimes because Florida State really suffered for 7 or 8 years on the offensive line, it felt like. I mean, it was bad. Anyway, we got the new play-by-play guy joining us. Talk a little more FSU, Jeff Culhane. He will join us next on ESPN 690 as the Noles are in town in Jacksonville. And ESPN 690 is your official home for Florida State football and basketball.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny skies today, hot and humid, reaching the low 90s, upper 80s at the coast. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms develop this afternoon and into the early evening and make a run all the way back to the beaches. Overnight, we dry out, partly cloudy, down to the mid-70s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero-interest financing with nothing down.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's back to school time, which means it's back to fall sports time, too. Elevate your game by elevating your lifestyle at iCryo in St. Johns County. The Pavilion at Durbin Park. There's something for everyone at iCryo, a student-athlete pass. A student pass. You don't have to be an athlete to take care of your body at iCryo. And for coaches and teachers, you can get a free lifestyle service. Jump in the cryotherapy chamber, get red light therapy, sauna, or compression too. iCryo in St. Johns County. Elevate your lifestyle as you head back to school and work.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatersparking.com to reserve your spot today.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Make this the summer event.
Come in for summer savings. There's still time at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows. Get 0% on brand new Ram trucks or Jeep Gladiators. They can get the job done. We've got a great selection just waiting to drive you home. Bring us your trade and get paid. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, I-295 and Bay Meadows.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At American Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
When Smart Tools give you control, you own it. When you're confident in your decisions, you own it. When you're sure someone's got your back, you own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. With free digital banking, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help, you're in control of your money so you can live your life your way. Go ahead and own it. Add an account today at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Having someone to talk to can change a life.
Cried out to her. She talked me through my depression.
Or even save a life.
I probably wouldn't be here at all. Not only in this room, but just not here at all if I didn't have the help.
If you need someone to talk to, Jewish Family and Community Services is here with in-person trained counselors or through teletherapy. JFCS is here for Jax. Visit jfcsjax.org.
If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, are you seeing these readings? This is incredible.
Short-staffed, Marco's climate research facility is in the eye of the storm. The atmospheric pressure to find more weather specialists is mounting.
Man, this is going to be a big job. We're going to need a bigger team.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Mal Washington. The Malavia Washington Youth Foundation provides after-school and summer programs for youth in Jacksonville's urban core. Learn more about the foundation at malwashington.com. Want to offer hope and change a child's life? Please consider joining the Malavia Washington Youth Foundation once a week to mentor a child. Visit malwashington.com to learn more. Want to change a life but don't have time to volunteer? Consider sponsoring a child today. It's your serve. Visit malwashington.com to learn more.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
My bold prediction is that the Jacksonville Jaguars make the playoffs. I know Damian Woody told me earlier in this show that I was nuts, but I think Trevor Lawrence is going to just explode this year. I think Doug Peterson is a great coach and exactly the right coach that they need, and a massive, massive upgrade, obviously, over what they had last year. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars made some noise.
Is that Dan Graziano?
Yeah.
I can't go that far with the Jags. Even me.
Yeah.
Sunshine and Rainbows guy.
Yeah, that might be the news person in you, though.
Nah, I don't think. It's just that that's the scarred me. Like, I like to keep it. Listen, I have no problem being positive. Positive guy by nature.
Yeah.
But I also, I don't want to just say it to say, I don't believe it until I see it anymore either. I can sit here and tell you, I think there's a lot of good to buy into. Really, for the Jags. There really is. But the reality is they've won 4 games in the last 2 years combined. There has been hype and good to buy into in the past. And we just don't have enough proven commodities in Jacksonville. Even Trevor himself hasn't done it on Sundays enough to say, wow, look what we can expect. There's just too much unknown. So I think I think there's some things that could trend on occasion that you can really say, you know what? I think this is going to happen. I just don't think there's enough with the Jags to say that. Like, you just don't know. Do I think this is going to be a 3-win team? No. I think this is a 6-win team at minimum because I do think they have talent.
At a minimum.
And I think they were restrained by the regime last year, mostly Urban Meyer, and they've added more talent this year. So I think from a logical standpoint, do I see them winning 3 more games this year? Absolutely. I think Doug Peterson's got one under his belt to win. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be better, so that's one for him. I think the roster's better.
Yeah.
So I get 3 more wins just by default. I can sell you that. I think I can. I think you can buy that. What I can't do is say, hey, they're going to win 9. Like, I can't do that. Like, I don't know. Like, they could still do pretty well and not win 9. I think like 9 would be like their ultimate ceiling.
Yeah, that's a significant step forward. Yeah.
Like, they're really probably their ceiling might be an 8-win team. They don't know how to win yet. Like, there's a lot of stuff and they don't have depth. So if they lose guys. So anyway, it's a lot like what we were just talking about with Florida State.
That's right.
Like, you can want to buy into things. You can see, hey, this is flipping and turning and there's some momentum. But to sit here and say Florida State's going to win 9 games, that would be kind of asinine, really, right? I mean, they've shown nothing to tell you that they can get to 9 with the schedule they're going to play. And so I think that's very difficult to do. There's a difference in being able to sell you on 9 and being able to sell you on 6 or 7.
Yeah, well, especially college football. Yeah,
absolutely. And same thing with the Jags. There's a difference between selling you on 9 and saying, hey, I think 7 is really reasonable, and here's why. 9 is a pipe dream right now and pie in the sky. Let's see what this guy has to say about Florida State Seminoles. Not a lot of scar tissue when it comes to the Noles because he's a new play-by-play voice at Florida State. We welcome in Jeff Culhane. We had him on when he first got the gig a couple months ago, and now he's been in Tallahassee a bit. He's been in Jacksonville today because the Noles are at the University of North Florida. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz. Hey, good to see you today. Good to meet you today as we had a little lunch with Jeff. And what do you think about this Florida State team?
Gentlemen, good to talk to you once again. Yeah, lunch was great, and great to be in the tremendous city of Jacksonville. I would give you 6. Give you 6 that I can sell right now for Florida State. And the goal is obviously to get back to a bowl. I don't think 6 – obviously 6 isn't the goal, but I'll give you 6 right now that I can sell you on. I think you obviously start with Duquesne, Boston College at home. If Sam Hartman is indeed out for Wake Forest on October 1 with everything he's dealing with, and hopefully it's nothing too serious for his well-being, I'll take Wake Forest. That's 3. Give me Georgia Tech 4, Syracuse 5, and Louisiana 6. And so I can sell you on 6. After that, I think there's a path to 8, and a lot of it depends on the health of Jordan Travis and the health of the Florida State offensive line. That's where I'll start with the Noles in 2022. Your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable, and I like where you're going there, and I think you get it. It's like, yeah, you just said, hey, I think they can beat this team, this team, this team, this team, and maybe if things get clicking and Jordan Travis plays well, they stay healthy, and Mike Norvell and his culture and everything he's trying to build takes another leap, then, hey, maybe we steal a couple. Like, that's doable. That's okay.
Yeah.
But trying to sell like even the Noles base on 10 would be a little ridiculous. Jordan Travis is the guy, right, Jeff? I mean, he is the man, and they need him to stay upright, and they need him to perform well. All signs out of Mike Norvell is this guy has really taken a big step since last year in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Travis is the guy. He is, as I've been able to watch him, he is someone that is obviously very physically gifted as an athlete, and he has made strides forward throwing the football that I think have been very impressive through fall camp, Aaron. And, I think with every quarterback, no matter if they're dubbed a dual threat guy or if they're your traditional drop back passer, the consistency and the accuracy piece is always something you want those guys to improve upon. And I think I just look to the games that Jordan played in when he was healthy last year and the playmaking ability that he has at this level and just the heart that he showed as well in some of these games. The Florida game, the kid was beat up, and he still came back and still fought and battled through injury and made that a 3-point game late in Gainesville, ultimately won by the Gators, obviously. But I think he's a tremendous talent. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that this is someone that is going to be up for the Heisman Trophy at the end of the year. But if Jordan Travis stays healthy, I think I really do. I think he has the ability to play and win games on his own because he's that special of a talent. I think he's that good.
Out there at practice today, Jeff Culhane with us, play-by-play voice of the Florida State Seminoles. It looked like the defense was really flying around, and we've seen that a little bit at Jags practice this time of year. People say defense is ahead. Yeah. We saw the red zone area quite a bit too, like at least at the time we were there. So the defense usually has an instilled advantage anyway in the red zone. But do they like the defense? Do they think that will be a unit that can keep them in games and maybe even steal a few games with turnovers and big plays?
Yeah, Brett, I would tell you, Adam Fuller, Florida State's defensive coordinator, and Randy Shannon, named co-defensive coordinator and linebackers coach of the offseason. Those guys have been very, very enthusiastic about this group. And Adam Fuller said in the offseason, through all my years of coaching, I've never been more excited about a group or a unit that I've been in charge of than this Florida State defense right now. And look, I love the secondary. I know everybody says it starts up front. It starts in the trenches, and we'll get there in a second. But I think there are 9 or 10 guys that can legitimately line up and play for Florida State in the secondary this year and play effectively and play well. And I think Jamie Robinson's one of the best defensive players in the country, coming off a tremendous season last year. The guy is up for almost every defensive award watch list he can be a part of, preseason All-ACC. I think he has a chance to be an All-American. And they've got some younger guys that they won battles in recruiting on. Guys like Azarie Thomas out of Niceville, Sam McCall out of Lakeville, Lake Gibson High School. These are 4- and 5-star rated corners that are true freshmen who potentially will play and have the talent to play as true freshmen here this year. Defensively up front, I don't know if he can replace Jermaine Johnson with what he did a year ago, right? I mean, Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC, first-round pick of the New York Jets, and Kier Thomas certainly made some things happen as well. But I think they're going to have to do it by committee early in the season with Jared Verse and Derek McClendon and Dennis Briggs back off of an injury middle of the year last year, moved to the defensive end spot from defensive tackle. And I'll give you a name to watch that people in the state know and fans around the state know well, and that's UCF transfer Tatum Bethune at linebacker. I mean, this is a guy that was coached by Randy Shannon in Orlando and made his way up to Tallahassee, knows for the football, always around the action, and has had a tremendous camp to this point thus far. Yeah, I think Florida State's defense, very opportunistic, and as you said at the end, they're going to have a chance to help this team win a ton of games and be in big games late this season.
Looking back at the offense, Jeff, what about a kid like Jashaun Corbin? What are you expecting from him this year? Obviously, had some exciting moments last year. What are you hoping to see there?
Jashaun, I believe, moved on, correct?
Was he not on the roster anymore? I thought he was a junior this year. I'm sorry, man.
Moved on. I think he's in Giants camp, I believe, or was a free agent signing of the Giants. But running back room by committee, I like it, Aaron. I like what they have there. Trey Benson transfers in from Oregon. You also have Trayshawn Ward, Lawrence Toafili as well. And I think there's a young guy by the name of Rodney Hill out of Statesboro in Georgia that has had some good moments in fall camp thus far. I'm not going to tell you he's going to play a bunch of reps or come out and have a great year, but, man, he has shown flashes and done some really nice things, I feel like, in fall camp to this point thus far. And the thing about the offense, guys, is, Mike Norvell and this staff understood some of the shortcomings this group had, and I think they did a great job in recruiting and in the transfer portal along the offensive line and at wide receiver to help fill some of the void and some of the needs there. And guys like Micah Pittman out of Tampa, certainly everybody recognizes the last name, Johnny Wilson from Arizona State, and then Deuce Spann from Illinois are all guys at wide receiver, and they did some really good things along the offensive line as well. So Mike Norvell identified some of the shortcomings, and I think they like what they see on the offensive side so far early this season.
Is Mike Norvell going out and grabbing some of these wide receiver kids something you trust in him more just because of his experience working with wide receivers throughout his career, whether it be at Tulsa, Arizona State, working with the offense, really focusing on that wide receiver room? It kind of gives you a little more faith in him picking these kids out.
Yeah, he's an offensive guy, right? I mean, he scored a ton of points everywhere he's been. His Memphis teams lit the world on fire on that side of the football, and he's obviously been at places like Arizona State and Pitt where they had a lot of success with the system and throwing it and incorporating the running game in that facet as well. And, you recruit these guys and you stay connected with them, and now that we're in the transfer portal era, I just think you're constantly in communication with the guys that you wanted originally, right? And so it never stops. You just continue to monitor everybody and their situation overall, and the transfer portal has affected every program in college athletics over the last year, over the last couple of years or so. So, yeah, I think you're absolutely right with his background of what he wants and who he wants on the offensive side of the football. He's brought in a lot of different bodied wide receivers with, some of the smaller slot guys like Micah Pittman, like we talked about. Johnny Wilson's at 6'7", can high point the football and go up and make plays in the red zone. And Deuce Spann used to be a quarterback and a dual threat guy at that. They're getting him the ball, and put him in great spots if need be to do some impressive things on the offensive side.
Jeff Culhane with us, play-by-play voice of the Florida State Seminoles. And obviously you've done your homework, man. I know you had to get acclimated to this whole situation. You've only been around Tallahassee for a couple of months and around this football team, but obviously doing a fantastic job there. You said something that's pretty interesting. The bodies, the guys that he went out and got from a recruiting standpoint, but also a transfer portal standpoint. And I said it before you came on in the last segment, like the get off the bus look of the Noles last year at UNF when they had this practice wasn't that great. I think now you look at the get off the bus team of Florida State today at UNF, I see a marked improvement. So that is a good sign. Again, I mean, this is like, I don't want to say baby steps, but it's a climb back up, and all those things have to happen when you've struggled a little bit. And I guess the next part of that, Jeff, is I think he's known as a good recruiter. He's going to bring good players in. But sooner or later, they're going to have to find that guy, right? The guy at the signal caller position. And hopefully that comes sooner than later.
Yeah, they obviously had to improve in all phases, in all areas. And, tip your cap to the strength staff with Coach Storms and Coach Farniak. I mean, they really – I know they in the offseason they put these guys through the ringer and got after them and let them know that 5-7 obviously wasn't good enough a season ago. And so you have to get better. You have to look better. If you want to be a team that you expect to be a team of excellence like Florida State has had in decades past, if you want to get back to that point, you have to do it in all phases. And I think it's kind of tough in a lot of ways, and I'm not making excuses. I think it's just the reality. You come into a program that was already in the situation that Florida State was in, guys, and kind of heading in the wrong direction. And you come in during COVID as well, looking to implement a different culture, a different direction. And Brent, we talked about it earlier. You guys the NFL just got out of COVID protocols this year to get everybody back in the same building and working. It's hard to do that in year one. And so you feel that connection, guys, within the program and the belief of what Mike Norvell has been discussing and what he's been selling with his approach, and it's palpable right now for FSU.
Yeah, we know it's a bottom line business, but we said that too earlier, and we talked about it as well, Jeff. I mean, they like this guy. Mike Norvell's an easy guy to like. There's a good feel about it. There's attention to detail. He can recruit. He's going to put some points on the board once they get the horses and where he needs to be. So there's a lot to buy into with Norvell. And again, we know you only have so much time, but hopefully that corner really starts to turn coming up here in 2022. All right, hey, you're 2 weeks away from making the debut. So, I know. You're getting excited. You got the family coming in. I mean, you just had a newborn. I mean, heck, this has been what a year, what a summer for Jeff Culhane.
A whirlwind, yeah.
Guys, I can't wait. Hopefully this time next year I'm looking at you, and I'm not talking about movers or talking about couches being too big for crates.
Talk about baby number 3.
No, we're not. Heck no. That's not happening.
Not going back to the well, huh?
What comes first, baby number 3 or national championship for the Noles? I mean,
that's right.
On.
I'll tell you this right now. National championship for the Noles is coming before baby.
Oh, wow.
Hope your wife is listening.
She would probably nod her head right now. Driving down to Tallahassee from Fargo with a 3-year-old and a 6-week-old boy.
You know what? She would agree with you on that one.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, great having you on. Good to catch up with you today. Enjoy the rest of the trip here in Jacksonville. Scrimmage for the Noles on Saturday, by the way, in Tallahassee. And then seriously, 2 weeks away from here in the Noles, right here on ESPN 690. Florida State opens against Duquesne before the big matchup against LSU on Labor Day weekend. Jeff, always fun catching up. We'll do it some more here this fall. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right, Jeff Culhane. We've had him on a couple times. Nice guy, new guy to the Noles eardrums, right? Of course, with the great Gene Deckerhoff, he's taken over for him, Jacksonville guy. But a lot of credit to Jeff. It was pretty cool. Like he wanted to meet up and get to meet everybody over here in the Jacksonville area while he was here, and it was fun to catch up with him, and he's going to do a great job. Already pushing out a lot more content on the Noles website and social media channels. His official title is Director of Broadcasting, so they've got some podcasts and recaps of practices that you've probably already seen and followed if you're a big Noles fan. So keep an eye on Jeff Culhane and, again, his debut and coming up against Duquesne on August 27th. You'll hear the games all fall right here on ESPN 690. We take a break. We'll be right back here in Jacksonville on ESPN 690.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
When you look at a schedule, it reveals more than even the schedule what you really think about that team. Bad teams, their schedules always look brutal because they're no good, so you don't think they're going to win many games. Good teams, you look at the schedule, oh, it's not so bad because they're favored in a lot of those games. I guess I would also take the under on the Jets, but just. Like, I think 5.5 games is right. I'll take the under.
Key, J, and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call Safe Touch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those two thieves broke in, alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The Safe Touch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know, we really need the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. Safe Touch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the Safe Touch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
Hey, poker players! The Summer Heater Poker Tournament Series is at Best Bet Jackson from August 11th to the 21st, featuring 11 different poker tournaments, including the main event, a no-limit hold'em tournament with a $1,500 buy-in from August 19th to the 21st. If you're looking for an exciting poker tournament this summer, visit us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Florida's largest poker room. View the tournament and satellite schedule at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Don't miss it.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track. Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive and for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Oh. Are you seeing these readings? This is incredible.
Short-staffed, Marco's climate research facility is in the eye of the storm. The atmospheric pressure to find more weather specialists is mounting.
Man, this is going to be a big job. We're going to need a bigger team.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Are you seeing these readings? This is incredible.
Short-staffed, Marco's climate research facility is in the eye of the storm. The atmospheric pressure to find more weather specialists is mounting.
Man, this is going to be a big job. We're going to need a bigger team.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's. 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 Reese's.
Reese's. Hey, get out of here, you little stinker.
Reese's.
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 Peanut butter cups. That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
Hey, it's Brett Mortno from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
The Yankees were dominating through this whole year. They have gone through a hiccup, and that's part of a long season in baseball, but they do got to clean some stuff up, and you know how it goes. A chip in a chair. Once you're in the postseason, it doesn't matter what you look like on paper. It doesn't matter how many guys on your team are making over millions and millions of dollars. You got to execute, and you got to win the baseball game.
We have the Field of Dreams game tonight.
Oh, yeah. That's cool, man. I like when they do that.
Who was that, Brent? Very recognizable voice. You should know. Covered him. I mean, cowboy up, Brent. Wow, you are not Kevin a good. Millar? Yeah, you are not a good Red Sox fan.
Well,
cowboy up should have clicked, Brent Martin. Holy cow,
Kevin Millar with what is he on, MLB Network?
Yeah.
So I don't equate him with ESPN. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but those guys had him on today, huh?
They did, yeah.
So, yeah, Kevin Millar. Kevin Millar's a fun guy. He was fun back then. Probably got a lot more out of, I don't know how good Kevin Millar really was.
You think he overperformed on the Red Sox?
I think he's I don't know, legend, if you, he's not legend, but how you feel about him was probably better than his performance. You know what I mean? There are some guys like that. I'll give you another guy in the Red Sox like that. How's this case? Kevin Youkilis?
Nah, Uke was pretty good.
You think he was good?
I gave you Brett Phillips.
Oh, Brett, that's a great example.
Mm-hmm.
That's the greatest.
Yeah.
But did Brett Phillips play well 2 years ago?
Nah, he got one hit. It was a walk-off in the World Series, and he kind of carried that with him.
Retired.
Yeah.
And I might be downplaying Kevin Millar, too. Let me check on Millar.
No, you're not.
Millar is just an okay guy, right?
Yeah.
But he was this personality of the idiots.
Yeah, he was. Euclid, though, was good.
Euclid was a good player for a bit.
I hated Euclid.
And see, the best part about Euclid is what you just said, because people hated him.
Yes.
You love him when he's on your team, but they hated him. But that makes gritty teams sometimes.
I feel like that was most of that Red Sox roster throughout the late 90s, early 2000s.
Terrible.
There was a little bit of that on them. Gross. Let me give you the best year for Millar. So let's see, it was 314 with the Marlins back in the day,
297 in 2004.
Gosh, my eyes are bad. 20 home runs, 25 home runs. He hit 20 home runs 3 different times, but again, nothing great. I mean, he hit 297 for the Sox in 04, so he had his really nice 18 homers and 74 RBI, but didn't you feel like he was even better than that based on personality?
I always felt like he was one of these glue guys.
Yeah, I think so. I think he was a leader of the team, and he he was he wasn't afraid of anything, and that was a big part of that 2014 they weren't afraid of the Yankees.
Yeah,
there's a fear of the Yankees. They were coming off all the success for 6-7 years. They still had the nucleus of that team. He wasn't afraid of the Yankees.
No way.
Well, nobody really on that Red Sox.
Yeah, you had a bunch of people on that team who couldn't give a rip what team they were playing. They were going to go out there.
That's been kind of the fun part of watching a little bit of the Jeter stuff, as you see sprinkled in, good and bad, I guess, from that standpoint. Hey, tomorrow go ahead.
I was going to say, Euclid is doing broadcast now for Boston. He's in the booth sometimes.
Is he with Nesson or something?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Can't stand him. Still.
And is Veritek's on the staff, right?
Tech's a coach, yeah.
Yeah. He got a little. He needs a few more salads these days.
Whoa, what?
In case he wasn't a fan of that.
Listen,
the playing days.
Nah, man, that's not right what you just did to Varitek. Millar, sure, he was a bench player most of the time, didn't play a lot. Varitek was behind the dish for years. Yeah, that man has earned it. He wore the C on his jersey a bum. That was the worst. You don't play hockey, Tech. You play baseball. So get the C off the jersey. Respect the game, though. Respect the game, but we got to get the C off the jersey. Hated that. Yeah. Oh, I hated the Red Sox.
Claim to fame. Alex Rodriguez moment.
Yep.
For Varitek.
It's true.
Always living the lore.
Catchers will often plump up a little bit. It helps with the position.
Could you blame them? How do they even stand and sit with those knees?
Yeah.
After everything they've been through,
I'm
you're
with
going to
you.
disrespect him, Brett? That's a horrible take.
I'm not disrespecting. I love Veritek. I'm just saying.
You
put
said
on
eat a
couple LBs.
salad, buddy. That's what you literally said.
I got to eat a salad, too. I mean,
holy
and
cow.
Probably Aaron should eat one or two,
One.
too.
I need to eat the whole bush. Casey doesn't get it yet because Casey's still, 18 years old?
Yeah, see, this is the problem now. That's another person we're not going to have on the show because you called Veritek fat, and I need him on a set card, Brent. So what are we doing here?
We can make it.
It's the same situation.
He'd appreciate my honesty.
I got a brother-in-law, loves lifting weights, big kid, yoked up, big muscles, huge neck, big specimen. And I'm looking at him going, yeah, it's all fun and games eating 3 pounds of pasta every day to try and catch up with your weightlifting, but wait until the day after you turn 30. Because it's all going to fall off
Talk
you.
about that old guy stuff too much, man.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm living it, not just talking about it.
Yeah.
I was looking at pictures of myself with my wife from 10 years ago, and I weigh roughly the same, Brent. I'm telling you, it's like within 5 pounds.
Yeah, the weight gets distributed different now.
It's different now. It's
It is kind of crazy. Like, you can tell when you start losing muscle mass because you do weigh the same. Like, I weigh the same as I did like a year and a half ago, but I'm nowhere near in
Looks
like the
different.
shape that I was.
Yeah, man.
Like, totally different.
Quite frankly, me and Casey are disappointed, Brent.
Could use a salad or two.
Could eat a salad.
I've been trying.
You and
Salads-
Veritek at the salad bar.
Salads and Cheez-Its.
I tell you what, I don't know about a salad, but I just housed a skirt steak at Cantina Laredo.
Sounds like it will be me, Veritek, and Jack Del Rio, I guess, at like the salad bar.
Del Rio.
Although these days I can't go with Jack to the salad bar. Dangerous. Hey, got Carathon coming up. I do want to ask you to think about this. Field of Dreams. Do you like the game? In case you're a baseball guy, get that answer ready. Just want to tell people about Carathon coming up tomorrow on Cox Media Group and all the stations, WOKV, Rich Jones spearheading a lot of it, but it's the entire group.
Oh, yeah.
Big building initiative here to help Child Cancer Fund. And get this number ready, 855-636-6877.
Say it
Or how
faster.
about this? You can do *1045 from your cell phone. That's probably the easy number, right? Yeah. *1045 from your cell phone number. Any donations obviously will help. 28th year of the Child Cancer Fund. You can bid on items as well at ESPN690.com.
That's true.
And childcancerfund.org for more information. But it will be a day of testimonies, a day of raising dollars. It'll be in many ways a fantastic day tomorrow to help all these families, but obviously that are in a tough situation.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can help a little bit. And during the show, we'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. But on all our stations, including yours, you get us going in the morning, 96.9. And then, of course, over on 104.5 WOKV. And right here on ESPN 690, you can participate in Carathon. So that is on the way. Field of Dreams game. You like it, Casey?
Sure. It's fine. You know, the first time
how's
was cool.
it just fine? Like, isn't it awesome?
I think
It was
it's
great
tremendous.
the first time.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Like, so did you think it should have been just a one-time
Yeah.
deal?
Yeah,
Why?
I'm a big
Really?
one-timer. Yeah.
And I know baseball is like the land of traditionalists. It's the one sport where like people hate to change it the most. But talk about a sport in need of a venue change sometime.
Yeah, but like, here's my thing. So last year I was excited, right? I was here then. I had already started at that point, and we were like hyping it up. And I watched the whole thing, 9 innings. Dude got walked off. It was
unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. It's not gonna be the same this year.
Well, that's true.
We've already
but-
seen it. Like, we know what we're getting.
Okay, but let me ask you this. The Home Run Derby's fun to watch every year, right?
I was watching The Bachelorette, as you remember.
The Home Run Derby is fun
But
to
the Home
watch.
Run Derby
yes.
has become fun to watch.
Absolutely.
And it's not the same. Sometimes it's better than others.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, this is okay, man. This is great. Like, people love this movie. The idea of where they're playing this game, everything that goes into this game.
It's cool.
And to your point, to have a different setting, a different venue, and there's just something super organic about this game, even though it's kind of manufactured. You know, how often do you get that when you know it's manufactured, but
baseball,
it still
yeah.
feels organic?
But not to use your point against you, Brent, before you run off to commercials, but that's kind of how I feel about Live Golf. It's like it's nice to have the venue change, different kinds of games, make the sport a little bit different every now and then.
Please don't ever compare the Field of Dreams game
That's all upset
to
now.
Live Golf.
I'm just saying, venue change isn't always about the field. Sometimes it's about the rules or the game. I like when they do like the one-offs, little switches. Do I want to watch the whole thing of Live Golf, only Live Golf? No, but it is kind of cool when things that have been around forever get changed up a little bit.
Remember last year when they put the drone through the house? Remember that?
I remember that.
That was awesome.
Cool.
I hope they do that again,
man. Yeah.
Bring Kevin Costner back again, baby. We'll be back. Football at 5 on ESPN 690. What QC Kinetics is doing for people here in Northeast Florida is nothing short of amazing. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martin. If you have joint pain, any joint pain, you need to call QC Kinetics. Get rid of that. Live healthier, live pain-free. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. QC Kinetics is in Mandarin and now in Ponte Vedra as well. They're growing because demand for these treatments is off the charts. Modern advances in regenerative medicine allow these medical professionals to take the remarkable healing properties from your own body, concentrate them for maximum power, put them directly in your aching joints so your damaged tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. You can get a totally free consultation by doing one simple thing. Call this number, 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522. Two convenient locations, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. If you have pain in your knees, hips, back, shoulders, don't let them keep you on steroids. Don't believe surgery is your only option. Call 904-274-5522.
Hi, I'm Mike Holmes, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water-using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut water treatment system. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
5X480, Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Be confident you're in control of your banking with free digital tools, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Over the past 30 years, I've had people come up to me, often other lawyers, to tell me what a clever marketing idea it was for Cordell & Cordell to commit to men in divorce. Though intended as a compliment, such statements have always bothered me. For one thing, it's far from clear that a decision that's likely to disaffect half the market is a good business decision. But more troubling is the presumption that Cordell & Cordell's success is largely a result of good marketing. I think if you ask one of our 300-plus attorneys or one of our 100,000-plus former clients, that you'd hear a lot about experience, client care, and integrity. These are the much harder things that best account for the growth and reputation over time of any law firm, including Cordell & Cordell. Having said all this, I am proud of our marketing messages, and I do want guys to know that we're here to help them.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Number 6, including LeBron James, can keep wearing it, but the number will not be given to any other players. Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins is sent home from training camp today with an undisclosed illness. That makes it unlikely he'll play in Sunday's preseason opener against the Raiders. The Jaguars will host the Browns tomorrow night. ESPN's Dan Graziano.
My bold prediction is that the Jacksonville Jaguars make the playoffs. I know Damian Woody told me earlier in this show that I was nuts, but I think Trevor Lawrence is going to just explode this year. I think Doug Peterson is a great coach and exactly the right coach that they need, and a massive, massive upgrade, obviously, over what they had last year.
Dan Graziano on Get Up. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Jets will sign free agent offensive lineman Dwayne Brown to a 2-year contract worth $22 million. Patriots running back and 4-time captain James White retires today after spending his entire 8-year NFL career in New England.
Long summer days call for extra hands. Hire fast with Indeed. Their hiring solution helps attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
Not only does it make sense for them to get out of the ACC, I think they are trying to get out of the ACC. They'll deny that, and they're welcome to do so. But I strongly believe that Clemson, through intermediaries, is trying to figure out a way to get out and to go to the ACC. And I think ultimately Clemson will be in the SEC because it's perfect for them. They are the quintessential SEC school. They're in South Carolina. They're around the corner from Georgia. They already have South Carolina in the state.
That is Paul Feinbaum. I heard that conversation today on ESPN 690. And I think it actually makes a lot of sense. Is Clemson better served in the ACC or better served in the SEC? And here's the catch there. You get in the SEC with everybody. But the downside is you get in the SEC with everybody.
Yeah, I think the upside's better than the downside, to be honest with you.
Because here's the thing, like in the history of stuff, I say this all the time about golf. You go out and play golf and you shoot 85. Mm-hmm. Everybody says, what'd you shoot? Nobody says, where'd you play from?
Good point.
So in the next 10 years, Clemson wins another national title or has gone to the Final Four or the college football playoff 6 times.
It's like, national title championship.
Like, look at Clemson, one of the best programs, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's like, yeah, but they played in a bad ACC. Like, they do that in the current moment.
Yeah.
But as you look back on it, you don't do that.
Well, I would say that SEC fans always do that. But,
SEC will always do it. Yeah.
How likely is it, even playing out of the ACC, that Clemson gets to win the national championship another time or multiple times in the next few years? It's more unlikely than likely. So if you're not like Alabama constantly at the top, or Georgia constantly at the top there vying for a national championship, I think it does them more justice, better for recruiting, better for national viewership if they're in the SEC than if they're playing along in the ACC with a bunch of scrubs.
What's crazy about this, right? There's more money in the SEC. There's more exposure in the SEC. You're playing.
Kids want to play for you.
If they eventually get into this mega conference deal, and it's the SEC and everybody else, which is the way this is shaping up.
Sure, yeah.
Saw a good article on like the Big Ten's not going to be on pulling out of the ESPN stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, that separates it even more, and I think they're kind of right. Like ESPN is such a vehicle to push whatever they have that if you're not a part of them, you're not getting promoted and pushed and mentioned like you would if you were with them.
Yeah.
And so I think there's something to all that depending on what the landscape looks like in 3 years in college football. But for the immediate, I don't think it's worth getting an extra $10 or $15 million a year or whatever it might be from the SEC versus the ACC in your earnings to give up the idea of playing for a national championship potentially every year. Because if Clemson joins the SEC East, guess what they're not doing? Playing in the college football playoff every year over the next handful of years.
That's the truth.
So they might once, but they're not doing it 4 out of 5 years. They stay in the ACC right now, they're doing it 4 out of 5 years. But honestly, don't you think the SEC would rather have Clemson than South Carolina right now?
Definitely. 100%.
Casey, would it be weird to have Clemson in the SEC?
Not anymore. Like, if all the other teams are coming too, might as well. It's weird to have Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the weird one. Hey, you know what else? It's weird to have Vandy in the SEC.
Yeah.
The whole thing is weird.
It's just the landscape is going to change so much, and I'm not even sure, like, we talk about these conversations like it's tomorrow. The problem is it's not going to be tomorrow. It's really for what does it look like in 2025 or 2028 when the landscape has settled itself down where everybody lands.
And you're right. And it doesn't happen en masse like this every year, but it does happen over the years. I mean, I certainly remember growing up watching Syracuse out of the Big East. And those memories are long gone, back when Big East basketball was a thing that mattered.
Well, what's interesting about that, too, is that it came back.
A little bit.
Not to the point that it did, you know, to what you're saying. But it did come back like they survived. And they've actually on the basketball court, which is what they were known for.
Yeah.
Like they tried to get in the football game and everything else, and that didn't work out. Like, whatever. But the basketball has been pretty darn good. I mean, heck, my Providence Friars were good this past year. Butler, who had joined it, has been good. There are other examples of it. So,
but it used to be such a powerhouse.
But it was so good.
Conference,
like to be honest with you, the last time we saw anything like the SEC in football might have been that old Big East
in basketball. Yeah. I mean, just every year you had dominant teams, Georgetown and Syracuse,
Syracuse, UConn, all of them. Like
UConn, I forgot about UConn.
So back in that, I never thought of it like that. But that's pretty interesting to think. Now, no, listen, the ACC is really strong, right? You got Duke and North Carolina, you got everybody.
Yes.
But still, you still had you have weak spots because of the size of the conference. I mean, there was a time where it didn't feel like anybody was weak in the Big East when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And they probably were, but it didn't feel that way. Like Boston College was weak, but they were still like pretty good.
And they usually had a guy
Dana
or
Barros.
two.
Remember that name?
Oh, man.
Has anybody ever heard of Dana Barros? You know, and Providence they could upset teams, and they were like the little kid on the block in that conference at times. But the problem with the ACC, like even in hoops, is like there's haves and have-nots.
Well,
the have-nots are so bad.
They were heavy at the top.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as deep as the Big East was at the time.
I don't know. I wonder if people would agree with that. It's a different world. See, down here, you're living in the SEC. I think it's harder for folks that grew up maybe down here to understand how big the Big East was. I lived up there, and the Big East was big.
Well, it was yours, yeah.
I mean, it was a big deal, though, but I think it was even a big deal in the national landscape. People were afraid of those teams. I mean, from Coleman to Ewing to all the UConn team. I mean, that was legit. That wasn't – you didn't need Kentucky and Kansas and you name it. You had the Big East. Yep. Like, that's where those teams were. Now, nobody's afraid of Syracuse anymore. You know, nobody's afraid of Georgetown for sure anymore. And even UConn because of some of the penalties and things they've had. So it is pretty interesting that they were that powerful. And I'm not sure people would give them the credit in this kind of conversation. That's why I'm trying to be a little careful with it. Because people are like, it's the SEC, it's way bigger. It just means more. Well, for a time there, it felt like the Big East, it just meant more.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. In the college basketball landscape, we're comparing football and basketball in that sense. So,
but you're right. Haves and have-nots looking at the SEC versus every other conference, and it's like, you know, what do you got?
Well, and that's why there's so much curiosity about, is it the SEC and everybody else? And if it's the SEC and everybody else, then a team like Clemson, to kind of pull this full circle, or a program like Clemson, or a college like Clemson, might be like, hey, we need to get in there. Because we belong in there. Like, we are one of the elite programs in the country.
That's why I don't understand why some of these other conferences haven't, like, you know, put their gaze on the SEC, and we're going to be extinct unless we recruit some of the remaining huge schools.
I think a little bit of it, well, and they're trying. I think there's a lot of jockeying right now for that kind of stuff going on. But I think they're kind of waiting to see a little bit what the SEC does, and the SEC doesn't seem like they're in a hurry to say, hey, we want to go and be our own little thing.
I mean, they were already a dominant conference, so, like, what's the rush?
Yeah, and again, it's on their watch. It feels like it's on their watch. I don't know if that's factual or not, but it feels like it's on their watch to say, okay, and there seems like there's a clock that runs out like in 2025 when Texas and Oklahoma join the fray. You know, in that time period when the college football playoff gets revisited, what does it look like? But listen to Feinbaum say that. It's like, man, Clemson and the SEC as well. Holy cow, that would be something. And maybe it would be awesome. I mean, sooner or later you get 24 teams in the SEC and it becomes like the NFL feeder league.
Junior, yeah.
Maybe it's not a bad thing, but that could seriously be the landscape. I just threw out 24 teams. I don't know how many, but that could be the landscape. Hey, Casey, you have these fine pictures that we can share?
Yep.
You ready to go?
Sure.
Okay, so here's a little backstory here.
Okay, because I've seen the preview of the picture, and it made me giggle, but I really need to hear what's happening.
I don't really know which picture you're going to see, but...
So this one would be the one that
gets Brent divorced?
That Steph might have a problem with.
Oh. I was hoping you'd start with the other one, but
okay, well,
that's okay.
We still can.
Steph
yeah.
has seen this
make
one.
a quick
You want to
switch.
make a switch? Yeah, make a switch.
Make the quick switch.
I think the order works better in this way.
Because I'd love to hear what Steph had to say about this.
All right, we're good.
Thank you. So, okay, you can make this sucker go live, right?
All right, let's go.
What's up?
So what happened was
Nice.
We're
Can we
in
guess
Canton,
what
Ohio.
happened just by the
why don't you-
face?
well, the whole idea of this is caption this, right?
It looks like you just told her there's alcohol in her Natty Light. It looks like you just told her the tooth fairy gives money for teeth, and she wasted all 40 that fell out of her head without getting any money back from the tooth fairy.
So the backstory here.
I don't even know this poor lady. I'm sorry.
I know she's probably a very nice lady, but she. Well, this is what happens sometimes when you have a delay in Canton, Ohio, and there's 40 extra minutes to buy some beverages. Okay, and so we're doing it at halftime. We're doing something for our 10 o'clock news. And of course, the game got delayed, and so I'm getting ready to tape something, and we have
looks
to be
like
off
you're
to
getting
the
ready
side.
to get a restraining order, not tape something.
Well, and so we get some guests sometimes that appear on camera.
Is that a guest? Okay.
Right?
All right.
Yeah. And by the way, this lady wasn't bad at all.
Okay.
Like she was just talking a lot. And so we actually had somebody that tried to say, hey, they got to like do their thing and help, but that didn't work out too
Get
well.
away.
And so that's kind of the setting for this. Like we've experienced this before is my thing. Well, when we knew she was having a good time.
It looks like it. I mean, it's not just that she's triple zippling the cups right now. She's going 3 deep on these cups that you know we're holding beer, but you can tell all over her jersey. She's got the remnants of whatever she was
By the
eating
way,
or drinking.
That's a significant part of this story. She's got a Reggie Barlow jersey on.
Yeah.
Going way back, man.
Way back.
I mean, I was like 84. Got a Reggie Barlow jersey. How many of those are walking around town?
None. No, they're not being sold currently. Where are they? eBay? She didn't buy it today. She's had that in the closet.
She's
for
had it for 20 years.
20-something years.
And so, Stuart's shooting this.
Oh, my goodness.
And all of a sudden, like later on when we get back, he sees it and he sees this freeze frame of it. Because they're rolling back at the station on this whole thing and capturing it all.
Such a great picture. If anyone here is listening to us and not looking at our YouTube right now,
I should probably say that. Sorry, radio folks.
Please turn it on because this is a great picture.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. It's basically this lady who's a Jags fan who obviously had a good time.
A very good time.
Kind of invades our live shot or taping of a shot.
And your personal bubble.
And then we both are looking at each other in what would you call astonishment?
Oh, I would have called that a loving gaze.
Well, if you call that a loving gaze, I can't wait until you see what happens next. So then we had someone else enter the fray.
But
we're trying to.
She was just there. Was she just there, like trying to talk to you? What was her
she was
deal?
just passing by, but then recognized us and then was like, just didn't want to leave.
Gotcha.
You know, it's like, hey, great, we were talking. I tried to actually go get her to invade somebody else, like the other stations.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was like, hey, they're right up there. And so I was hoping that she would go there. I don't know if she ended
So,
up.
then you got her to skedaddle. You were like, hey, 50-cent beers across the field. You can go back there.
So then, like in this same moment,
yeah,
we get another passerby
who seems much more intent on being romantically linked to one Brent Martineau.
It really didn't go down like that.
Okay.
But this was a freeze frame from the moment. She was just having fun and shouting into the camera.
That doesn't look like shouting, though. It looks like trying to kiss you.
She like pretended to kiss me.
Is that a pretend? Is that what you told Steph?
No, this is it. Like Steph saw the live. She saw the video. So I proved it that it wasn't an actual kiss.
How does Steph react to something like this?
Steph was pretty cool about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steph was good about it.
In a way like, I know I've got you
She's
locked
like,
down.
oh my
it's okay.
God.
Or in a way like, please take him from me. How is she doing this?
She was fine.
What's her deal?
So anyway.
Brent Martineau, ladies man.
No.
It looks like it.
TV camera, ladies man. It's amazing what people will do in front of a camera.
Well, also, Brent, you got 2 or 3 buttons unbuttoned on your polo shirt. You know, it's almost like
3. How many buttons are on a polo shirt?
You're wooing them over with your pheromones. It's very much like the Bugs Bunny cartoons where he's floating through the air, smelling the pie. All these ladies are floating over to you. You're just there having your ambiance sampled by all the fans.
Like, this seriously happened within like 30 seconds of each other. It was in the same group of people.
Yeah.
But what happened is this lady then left. And the lady from the first shot, she stayed.
No. That's the opposite of what you want happening here.
So anyway, this one is this lady, if you're listening on radio, pretending to kiss me.
It doesn't look like pretend.
She was like with her husband there, or maybe not a husband, with a gentleman.
I mean, you are legit 4 inches away from losing half of your stuff in a court case. It is super close.
This did not happen.
Super close.
I have video proof.
Okay. Tell it to the judge, Brent.
And I've already shared with Steph, so this is not a surprise.
If Goodell was here, he'd be trying to give you a year and fines. This is what's happening.
Anyway, caption this. Is that a new segment?
Sure.
I hope this doesn't happen very much again.
The caption is, get the Farahs on the line.
I will say, I started to say this. It strikes me how much people do, say, etc. when they see a camera.
Oh, man.
Like, but it's like I can see kids. Like, we'll be wherever, name you or whatever, and the kids want to jump around behind you and,
And down at TIA Bank Field
whatever,
or whatever. Yeah.
Right? That's cool. Like, I get it. They're kids.
Getting on TV.
But
adults
I
do
never
it too, though.
understand it. Like, like, this isn't new. It's not like the first time they've ever seen somebody do, like, a shot
But
on
it might
TV.
be the first time they get to be on TV.
And that's the other thing. You don't understand how it works. Like, you're not on TV.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
do you think I was, like, talking to you the whole time while I was on TV?
I bet she does.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now, of course, they're not, at this stage, they're not sure what
What's
time
happening.
it is anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a fascinating thing because we get it a lot in our business, like on the TV side.
It happens in radio. People see mics and mic flags and cameras. They come running. Yeah.
Well, the one that happens in radio that is funny to me, that happens all the time because we're on remotes, it's like I'll have my headphones on, but like let's just say you're talking back at the station, so I'm not talking into the mic at the moment.
Right.
And so they'll just start a conversation with you. It's like, I'm on. Like, I can't talk to you because the mic is on.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But hey, at least people are interested. We
Love
gotta
it.
appreciate
Those were
that.
great pictures.
Yeah.
God, I hope you come back from every road trip with pictures like that.
I don't think
Good
so.
stuff, man.
Anyway, thought we'd share those. Thanks, Casey, for getting those. Took 5 days to use those. 6 days. Hung on to
Well
them for a
worth the
while.
wait. Make that our new profile picture on social media.
I don't think. I'm not sure Steph will like that.
Just trying desperately to get you to lose all your stuff.
It's been a bad day for Steph. Share that. Got $129 ticket to pay.
Yeah, man.
Get
You're not
tutoring,
holding-
Steph.
You're not holding up your part of the bargain right now, Brett.
Hey, at least I'm not plastered all over the tabloids in the grocery store line like Tom Brady.
Well, you know what? If you guys had $600 million at stake in the divorce, I bet you wouldn't mind. Go ahead, put it on the magazine.
We'll get back to talking some football. Jags play the Browns tomorrow night. No ruling by the NFL yet, so that means it's Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. Speaking of Clemson, it's like the Clemson show tomorrow with those two guys and Travis Etienne. How about that?
Very cool.
Little look ahead to tomorrow's game with the Browns and what to expect on the way on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Cloudy skies continue this evening. An isolated shower possible, but overnight we're dry and down to the lower to mid 70s. Friday, partly cloudy skies, some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms late morning and into the afternoon. Highs reaching the low 90s, 80s at the coast. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0 interest financing with nothing down.
Beat the heat at Best Bet.
From the state's top poker room to live-action simulcast wagering to amazing sushi and drinks, come experience non-stop excitement at Best Bet with great daily high hands, lots of table shares, and tons of poker cash games and tournaments. The action is sizzling. Play the hottest card games, including Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, and Pai Gow. You must be 18 years or older to play. More at bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet. Experience the best.
Koala, koala, koala insulation.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. That summer heat's right around the corner, and so are those high energy bills. Don't just sweat it out. Do something about it. Call Koala Insulation today for your free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
If you've been thinking about a new Toyota, then stop thinking and start buying during the national sales event going on now at Arlington Toyota. And check this out. Arlington's got 500 new Toyotas available, and that makes now the perfect time to slip into a new ride. Plus, you get 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it, and a lifetime warranty with your new Toyota purchase. So stop thinking and start buying. Even better, start your engine. It's the national sales event at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatersparking.com to reserve your spot today.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay, Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Nerds! Here at NerdWallet, we often see people struggle with financial decisions, like with Helen. Hey, Helen.
Hello.
Helen, you're all over the place.
I'm trying to pick a rewards credit card, and I've ended up, well, everywhere.
With NerdWallet, you don't have to feel all over the place. NerdWallet has side-by-side comparisons of top credit cards. So whether you need a card for groceries or travel, the smartest card for you is right there.
Wow. Now I'm in one place with the right travel rewards card. Nice.
Nice indeed. NerdWallet, the smartest decision for all your financial decisions.
Buying a home? Then you've got a lot on your mind. Getting pre-approved, your credit score, closing costs, now rising rates? Phew, it's so much. But with Rocket, you get an advantage. You can lock your rate for 90 days while you search for a home. That's 3 months to shop for your dream home without worrying about rising rates, because yours is totally safe. And it gets even better. Let's say rates drop within 3 years of your home purchase. You'll get exclusive savings from Rocket Mortgage when you refinance to a new lower rate. So what are you waiting for? Rocket has your back if rates rise in the short term and if they fall in a few years. So you can lock it and drop it with Rocket, your partner to help you buy today and be certain about tomorrow. That's the Rocket Advantage. Lock your rate now. Call 8337-ROCKET or go to therocketadvantage.com. That's 8337-ROCKET or go to therocketadvantage.com.
Must lock purchase rate between 7/19/22 and 9/30/22. Call 1-8337-ROCKET for coverage fees, terms, and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
It looks to me like Matt Patricia's the lead play caller. That's what we've seen in practices to this point. Now, Joe Judge, the quarterback's coach, is obviously a part of that picture as well. And Bill Belichick has acknowledged he's spending more time with the offense this year than he has in past years. So it's a combination of all three.
I believe that's Mike Reese from ESPN 690 today.
The Matt Patricia thing is interesting to me because he's not the defensive coordinator. He's got like a weird role with the team.
Well, I know, and he was a defensive guy, right?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's on the offensive end of things.
But he's not like
wasn't he a defensive guy?
Yes.
That's where he made his that's where he was.
Yes. This is why I think people just figured out that they're going to call plays with a defensive coordinator on offense.
Yeah.
That's why the whole world is freaking out. They don't have any offensive coaches.
But he's not
even
officially
Belichick's a defensive guy by trade, you know.
But he has called offense before a long time ago. Not that he'd be any good at it still or any good at it in the first place, but the Matt Patricia thing is weird for multiple reasons. Some you just said, but like they're not even committing like a role to this guy. I don't really understand what they're trying to do here.
I think what's interesting to me, sometimes doesn't it feel that Belichick's arrogance gets in the way?
I would like to believe that's the case, but he proves that wrong a lot. The guy overperforms constantly.
Well, they missed the playoffs. Well, they haven't won a playoff game in 3 years. So, I mean, they went last year. I would say they did overperform.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if they're not that good this year, they missed the playoffs, which I haven't missed in the playoffs. I think there are so many teams better than them, at least to enter the year.
Yeah.
Then that's 2 out of 3 years. Haven't won a playoff game now in 4 years. All of that without Brady, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the shine's off. The guy's cemented his legacy. But I do think, you know, one of the great traits of great coaches is surrounding yourself with the right people and good people and the best people. And it just feels like he's trying to go out of his own sometimes. I don't get caught up in the Belichick-Brady thing. I don't think they're caught up in it as much as the outside world is. But when you start doing things on your own, it almost feels there's a part of Belichick trying to prove that he can do it all by himself.
Yeah, I buy that. I buy that as far as egos and legacy goes. And then the other part that's kind of confusing to me, I don't understand how Robert Kraft allows this team to get built year after year with nobodies on it, especially as a winning franchise. And occasionally they grab a superstar, but most of the time the investment's in the offensive line or the defensive line. And, you know, they're making Pro Bowlers. They're not necessarily buying Pro Bowlers. They're just drafting these kids and growing them for the most. But they're not going out and getting that big name wide receiver like we want our teams to go get. You know, they had Brady for a while, but you don't necessarily see him trying to go out and splash. Mac Jones ended up being a great pick for them last year, but it's not like the kid was expected to go out and win the offensive MVP or anything like that.
Yeah, I think, again, how long does culture run its course? Like, they've won on culture. They've won, this is the Patriot way. This is what we do. But sooner or later, you got to, I mean, again, 3 years. If they don't win this year, you're 3 years removed from any of that. A lot of the players don't exist anymore. Mm-hmm. Who's leading that path? Just Belichick can't do that. Heck, even Josh McDaniels gone. You've lost other people. So I think sooner or later it runs its course. I mean, we see it in college programs. That's why they go down. Not just because they lost talent, but they also lose their way of winning. I mean, some teams just keep, like Alabama hasn't lost that because Nick Saban's still there and they can usually get as many players as they need.
He claims
right?
they were rebuilding last year.
But they usually can get, you know, his rebuilding, he might be right because they're like 4.2 is the star average on their roster instead of 4.8.
They're rebuilding relative to what Alabama normally looks like.
But you can't do that in the NFL. Like you don't have the quarterback or you have a transition or your defense isn't as good or the depth isn't as good. You can't just manufacture that based off culture. You can kind of do that a little bit in college and make a long run out of it because you it recruits itself and there's no limit. There's a thing called the salary cap in the NFL. There is a limit. So I think I just wonder if that's happening in New England. And I always said this because I know so many people in New England back home. I said, my goodness, at some point, you guys, you're not going to have this. Like, one, I hope you appreciated it all because it ain't ever coming back like you just had it. We know that. That's a run for the ages. But it also might be the start of a drought.
Which they had prior to Brady.
Oh, they had a long one. I mean, really. I mean, except for a couple of years, they were terrible, right? Really prior to probably Bill Parcells.
Yeah, I was going to say Parcells had a few years, I guess.
Parcells and Bledsoe kind of changed it, started to change it.
Troy Vincent, those guys.
And so, I mean, they're in for that. Like, it's a cyclical thing. Like, there's a chance the Patriots, one, because in the next couple of years, they're going to lose Belichick.
Yeah.
And so then they're going to have to transition again. If Belichick doesn't win in the next 3 years, Patriots might not win again for another 15 years.
Do you think Robert
Unless
Kraft,
Mac Jones is just awesome, and he carries the freight, and we don't know that yet. We haven't seen that.
It's still too early. Do you think Robert Kraft forces Belichick out at some point, or do you think he allows him to stay until it's time to go?
That's going to be really tricky to do that. I don't understand. I don't know how you can. I mean, to me, he'll be like Bobby Bowden in a sense.
Yeah, he's royalty.
Like, when it's time to go, it's time to go. But I mean, it's a cutthroat business. Maybe they make that move at some point, but I just don't see it. And he's not going to lose. Like, he is a good coach. Like, he's such a good coach that I think they'll win and be competitive. I'm just saying they're not winning big.
I mean, luckily
and
they're
not the class of the league anymore.
But they're in a crap conference, so they're going to get some easy games this year, whether they're a good team or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't buy that as much, though. I mean, the Bills are really good. The Dolphins could be good.
I won't
and
hear
the
that.
Jets might surpass them in 2 years.
I would love that to be true.
Seriously, the Jets are in a better building situation, potentially. And again, a lot depends on Wilson and Mac Jones.
Sure.
But the Jets already have collected at what seems to be more young talent than New England has outside of the quarterback position.
They've definitely got some upside guys. But, to the point about the Jags, you don't know what you got, right? So I find myself every offseason getting excited about these names that are new to the team, but in reality, they're just guys who have never played in the NFL before. A lot of them. Let me ask you one more thing before you move on, because this fascinated me too, and not that you would have the exact answer, but I'm curious what your speculation might be. Granted, we're a couple of years late for the conversation. What do you think went down with Josh McDaniels and the Colts that year, where he basically accepted the job and then fired himself before they could announce?
I don't know if stuff, and I just haven't read what came out of there after the fact, if there's more details of that, or I just forget now after a few years.
Because it has been a while.
Because that was a heck of a rebound by the Colts, seemingly to get Frank Reich, in just short notice.
But just so weird, they hired this guy. They got down the road on the negotiation. He accepted the job.
McDaniels, I think, on his side.
Right.
I mean, he was ready to go there.
But I guess at the time, the story was that Belichick met with McDaniels the day before and convinced him to come back. Like, what are you saying to the guy other than this team is yours, I'm out in 2 years? But it didn't happen.
Well, that's what's really interesting about all that is the fact that now this past offseason, he goes and takes the Raiders' job.
And no one said anything to him.
And this time it didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But so if he did go to the whole coach in waiting and you'll be the next guy, or let's hang on a little longer.
That was the assumption.
Whatever it was. And I would say that's the only logical assumption. Why would you pass up another chance? By the way, with a pretty decent roster at the time, I think, even for Indianapolis back then.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a messy situation. It's not like the one thing if he left to come to, with all due respect, Jacksonville, and had to clean up a lot. I mean, he still had to go places with Indianapolis, but it wasn't like a cleanup job. It was, hey, let's see if we can go places.
So I just thought that was weird because he had already left and come back, and then was trying to leave a second time and was held over. Then he leaves a third time. You look at a guy like Matt Patricia, he's allowed to leave the first time, but liked enough that he's taken back even when there's no role for him.
Yeah, it is a fascinating element. Do they think so highly of themselves? Is the Patriot way that good of a way? Is the Patriot way make you want to go explore other things? Because as people have said, it's not that fun.
It's
successful. It's the best place to be successful.
You also don't want to be a second or third fiddle your whole career. If you got some heat behind you, you got to strike while the iron's hot, right?
That's a great question. Did Josh McDaniels, Casey, end up in a better spot? Of course he did, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he never actually had Andrew Luck. Like, if he takes the job, he wouldn't have had him.
Who did he have? I forget the years on that now.
Well, the Colts, he would have had Luck.
No, Luck retired.
The year he was supposed to go there, I thought he would have had him 1 year.
Okay, he had 1 year. They're not going to win a Super Bowl in 1 year. I'm saying the job that he was signing up for, he wouldn't have actually had because he lost his quarterback.
He would have lost his quarterback that year. Listen, by the way, even if he had Luck, you make the case this Raiders situation's better anyway.
Way better than both Colts and Patriots situations.
So if he ended up making a good decision going back.
But he could have made this decision had he stayed with the Colts.
Well, you probably wouldn't. Well, they might not have sought him.
Yeah, maybe not.
And they were going to go steal him from the Colts.
Andrew Luck on that team when McDaniels turned down the job. So was Marlon Mack, T.Y. Hilton, Eric Ebron. That was a good year for Ebron. 66, 750, 13 TDs. Quentin Nelson as a rookie.
The symmetry is kind of nuts, really. If you think about it, because Belichick got to New England by turning down at the last minute and left the Jets at the altar, right?
Why do you do it, Brent?
But they did. He did. And so then he goes on to this. He builds a legacy as, next to Vince Lombardi, the best coach of all time, potentially, right?
I know.
Well, now, I'm not saying McDaniels is going to do that, but McDaniels leaves the Colts at the altar. Now, he doesn't go right to a team, but a couple years later ends up in a really good situation. I mean, is there a new coach, Casey, that has a better situation than Josh McDaniels?
No, they're a playoff team.
They were a playoff team. They added Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of some of the other gigs. Like Minnesota's a pretty good gig to walk into, I think.
Not better than
the Raiders, no.
No, I'm just throwing some
Doug
out
Peterson, no.
there. The Saints, pretty good.
Chargers?
They didn't.
Chargers didn't change this year.
No, it was last year. You're right.
Saints is not bad.
Denver Hackett gets Russell Wilson and a team that a lot of people think is really good. So actually, there were a few coaches that walked in a pretty nice situation. I mean, you keep in mind, like you're
all but Chicago.
What's that?
All but Chicago.
Well, all but Chicago. But those are the situations you usually walk into as a coach.
Yeah, the crap
The reason
situations.
the job's open is because you have the Chicago situation.
Yeah, it didn't go
Or
well.
a Jacksonville situation or a
Right.
Jet situation.
Easy.
You know, no, seriously, that's why you do it. Not very often do you get to land in a spot where you have what the Raiders came off and then added. Minnesota, what they've really done. The Saints, a little different with the Saints because they hired from within.
It's different with Denver, too, because Denver was not good.
Denver wasn't good, but did they go get
Sure, they did. But,
better,
like,
you know?
if they can't pull off that incredible once-in-a-lifetime trade, they got Drew Lock.
Well, that's fair, too, because he took that job before the trade. So that's a really good point. So, but it just makes you think, like, McDaniels, if he does, he's definitely in a better situation. Now it's up to him to see how good he can make it out of it. And it would be unbelievable to see the irony there that it happened to Belichick in a different kind of way, had all this success, and now the Raiders go have some success because McDaniels does it. I do think second time around coaches are intriguing. We've got one here again with Doug Peterson, but I do think there's a good track record on some of these guys have Belichick himself. Tom Coughlin had
Pete
better
Carroll
run,
was one of them, yeah.
In New York. Carroll is a great example of it. So that fits the bill for McDaniels going into this fantastic situation.
I don't see how he doesn't succeed there.
I don't either. And I'm not a huge McDaniels guy, but I'm also not a big critic of him.
I mean, he did some
believe
goofy stuff in Denver, but like this team is built to ride, man.
I thought McDaniels, what he did last year with Mac Jones was about as impressive of a thing I've seen him do. Like, I don't know how much credit he should.
The things they were doing.
The things they were doing, the management of it, what he had him do to succeed. Again, they weren't great. Like, they didn't have a ton. They weren't bad, but they weren't like, this wasn't like Mac Jones walking into the Raiders squad.
Well, he didn't look like
Kansas
a rookie.
City.
I mean, he didn't look like he was out there not knowing what the hell was going on in the field.
I just thought maybe McDaniels that was the best job that he could do, because if you're with Brady all those years, when you're doing that kind of job, Brady gets a lot of credit, and rightfully so. I mean, Brady was making McDaniels look good. I thought last year McDaniels made Mac Jones look good.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's not even to take away from Mac. Mac did a nice job with it, but you have to give a ton of credit to Josh McDaniels for what he was able to do with Mac Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and that offense, and to the degree that, like, what did he throw? How many passes was it? 1 or 2 against Buffalo? Even has the
2,
guts to do that, It's so typical of the Patriots in that respect. You guys shared this story about Brett Favre and all the concussions. We'll talk about it on the other side to finish up the show. Action Sports Jacks OT coming up at 6 o'clock. Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton. Just the Blitz edition again, Casey, right?
Yes.
Why does Durham play so early?
Great question. Not a clue. Same time zone.
Yeah, like just hours away. They play like 6:35 games.
Did they bring Wander Franco's jewelry with them this time or no?
I don't think so.
It's in Durham. He didn't have to rent a car. Well, was it a Bentley?
It was a Rolls Royce.
Rolls-Royce,
in the parking lot of a Jacksonville hotel.
We'll be back.
Doubletree.
Football at 5 rolls on. A little Brett Favre discussion of something what he said today. You'll have to hear that on ESPN 690.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call SafeTouch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those two thieves broke... SafeTouch cameras would have alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The SafeTouch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know we really need the SafeTouch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. SafeTouch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the SafeTouch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Not 100, not 200, not even 300. I'm talking 400 pre-owned on the lot, ready to test drive at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. All makes, all models, all waiting for you to test drive and take home today. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Your next great ride is waiting for you at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know, the average garage door is made up of 1.3 millimeter aluminum panels. Something you probably do know, your neighbor likes to tinker with his dirt bike. Something you probably don't know, a runaway dirt bike can take out your garage door and a good portion of your car bumper. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
The biannual blowout is just a week away, and we've got a lot of work to do.
Keenan's Rug Emporium is rolling out a Labor Day bonanza.
We have that flat weave shipment coming in.
He needs 10 new sales associates as the crowds loom large.
Someone run a stock check on all the Moroccan 8x10s?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Touch-A-Truck is back. Join us August 27th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. with fire trucks, food trucks, police cars, and more. All at Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway. For more info, visit ESPN690.com and follow us on Facebook at Touch-A-Truck Jacks.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Brent Martin along with Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz, Casey Brian Middleton have Action Sports Shacks OT coming up in just a couple minutes. Want to remind you about iCryo in St. Johns County Pavilion at Durbin Park. $29 lifestyle services on Wednesday. Don't worry if you missed it yesterday. You get it again next Wednesday. That's every Wednesday, Wellness Wednesdays at iCryo in St. Johns County. A lot of different specials, activities, parties. Check them out at iCryo. Download the app as well. iCryo in St. Johns County. We're talking cryotherapy chamber. We're talking red light therapy, sauna, compression, IV infusions, body sculpting. A little bit of something for everyone at iCryo. Take care of your body. Elevate your lifestyle. iCryo in St. Johns County. Brent Martineau here for wrapping up a show on a Thursday as we've got a football game tomorrow, Browns and Jaguars, and we saved a little bit of that conversation for tomorrow because, heck, we got a game day tomorrow. We'll talk a lot about what to expect, what we want to see, what we need to see, who will play. I think we already know most of that, right? I mean, it's going to be the first teamers in the first quarter, and then we'll see how it goes from there. And so we get our first look at Trevor, at the offense, at a guy like Foye Oluokun, who's his first time in a Jags uniform, and they are raving about Foye Oluokun at the middle linebacker spot. So we'll have some of those conversations tomorrow, and hopefully a nice showing and a good first impression here in Jacksonville for Doug Peterson and his football team, even though what the carryover of all that from a result standpoint means is debatable, and I'm not sure it really means a whole lot. September 11th. That Sunday against Washington is what means a whole lot. Brett Favre, who has been out of the league for a while, I guess recently said he's had more than 1, 2, 3 concussions.
Just a bit.
He's taken a lot of trauma to the head, even as a quarterback, because I don't think we think about concussions in quarterbacks from a multiple standpoint.
No.
We think about it in the linebackers. We think about it in those physical positions.
Running backs,
but the quarterback seems not immune to them. We see them hit the back of their head, like on the ground if they're getting sacked. And Favre liked to run around a little bit, and he was a warrior now when he played. He was a tough guy.
I think 321 consecutive, yeah.
So, yeah, which also makes it pretty remarkable given what he said in this clip.
Well, no, way more than that. See, the thing about concussions is we still don't know a lot about them. But if you'd asked me this 10 years ago, how many concussions I've had, I'd have said 3. The reason I would have said 3, I thought concussions were when you get knocked out, where you black out for a period of time, you don't know where you are, memory loss. Dizzy, a boxer gets knocked out, he tries to get up, his legs are rubber. That's a concussion.
Right.
What we now know is concussions happen all the time. So like you get tackled and your head hits the turf and you see the flashes of light or ringing in your ears, but you're able to play based on that. Thousands had to be, because every time my head hit the turf, there was ringing or stars going, flash bulbs, but I was still able to play. And that's what's kind of frightening about the concussion thing. It's the ones that seem minor that do the damage, because you're able to play and keep going. And still today, I mean, there's probably guys that have them that I'm not going out. I'm not going.
That's Brett Favre, and I think he hit on a lot of things that are probably right about concussions. I mean, guys don't want to leave the game. I've seen it on the sideline. I've covered this enough. The NFL now has employed rules where teams have to take the helmet away if there's a question about a concussion. They've done a better job, player safety. But for these older guys, it wasn't in place like that.
No, not even close.
So that was just not part of what you did in the NFL. You played through everything. It didn't matter. I mean, Jack Youngblood played through a broken leg. Guys played through concussions. And no, to answer your question, but one quick thought about concussions. I've done a lot of stories on concussions. And the biggest thing about concussions at any level, if you're a cheerleader, if you're a football player, if you're a soccer player, where, by the way, there are a ton of concussions, if they're just anything, the The worst part about having a concussion usually is not knowing it, diagnosing it, doing what's right for it, and then having another one like within a couple of days or a week. I don't know the exact time frame, but that's the one that really does a lot of damage. And we've seen different variations of it from people we know to people we've covered, even at the lower levels. And it's a dangerous thing. There's more science about it. We know more about it, all that stuff, even to the point where they're wearing the Guardian caps during training camp for that reason, because of all the studies in the NFL, and they've been forced to do that. You couldn't get a guy to force him to do that 2 decades ago or even 10 years ago. I think even the athlete is more aware of it now.
Oh, yeah.
Cognizant of it, and is vulnerable to knowing how to treat it, take care of their body, because they want to live a long life and be useful to society and all these other things, and after the game is played.
Well, like how many times do you have to see an athlete, some guy you played with or looked up to, who commits suicide by shooting himself in the chest because they want him to slice the brain open so that they can learn more about it? I mean, you only need to see that once or twice to know that this is like a real deal thing. This isn't about being dizzy when you're on the football field. This is about like living.
I've never had a concussion, by the way.
I've had a few. I had one really nasty one, and it was, I was playing flag football, hit my head, immediately took some ibuprofen, so I think it kept the swelling down. I really didn't feel anything. Later that night, like I've said before, I was a little bit of a bad kid. I was smoking a cigarette in the backyard. I think I was like 13 years old. But I got really dizzy. So I'm like, maybe it's like a big head rush or something. I go back upstairs, go watch some TV, still dizzy. I'm like, this is weird. I go to sleep, which I found out later.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea. I might not have woken up, is what they said. But next morning, I get up to go to school. I roll out of bed, and I fall right on the floor. Can't stand up because I'm so dizzy. Puke immediately. Yeah. I puked.
That's a bad one.
I puked 9 times that day.
That's a bad one.
And so we go to the doctor, MRI, CAT scan. They find the concussion, but then they also found a cyst right under my pineal gland, which is something they wanted to watch. So I was lucky that I got the concussion, but at the same time, literally for years after that concussion, when I put my head back to this day, right now I'm doing it in the studio, I get dizzy.
Huh.
That's permanent.
Casey, pineal gland. Can you give us a definition for that?
I was thinking spelling, so now I'm all thrown off. Yeah, that's the gland in the pineal.
It's one of these gooey. It's one of these gooey little buttons in the back of your brain.
That was pretty good. Pretty good explanation there. That was better than I thought you were going to come up with.
More of a kneel than a nail.
You bet. You've had any concussions?
Yeah, I have actually.
Are you a football guy?
A little bit.
Like, you can't be as big as you and not try to play football.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I couldn't. I didn't get to play football until like I don't know, the end is not a good way to put it, but I didn't get to play it early on because my mom was like a Brent Martineau parent. So like she was very concerned.
Here we go. I'm not a helicopter parent.
Well, she neither was she, but like she
I
was.
Even talked to my kids today.
She was safety. She was all about safety. So I didn't play until like towards the end of childhood. But yeah, fair share.
That's my favorite thing about young guys is they judge how you parent.
Yeah, they have no idea.
No.
That's the other thing about parenting.
But they don't think is they don't have enough foresight to see like in 5 years when he's got a kid, I can say everything I want to you now.
Are we still gonna know each other?
Yeah, he doesn't think you're gonna know him in 5 years.
Yeah, so he's living in the short term.
Every person out there without a kid always likes to say what they're gonna do when they have a kid, and then they have a kid, and it's like survival for like 15 to 20 years. You're surviving.
It is like the greatest judgment is how you like even if you see family members, right? You're like, why are they doing that?
I'm thinking of 2 right now in my head.
Yeah, like why are they doing that?
Yeah.
They're not. It doesn't mean like you don't usually say they're a bad parent.
No, but you're like
questioning their
what's happening,
their methods.
Yeah,
Casey's doing that right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just go take care of your dog.
I will. Blue's doing well.
You're my boy, Blue.
Blue's a girl.
Oh, you're my girl, Blue.
She is.
Sorry, Blue.
Forget what I was going to say, Brent.
I don't know, but I'll tell you that you can go support St. Michael's Soldiers this weekend. They got their Rock the Box concert coming up with Low Cash and Johnny Van Zant. Thrasher Horn Center. That is Saturday night. Tickets as low as $29. Free tickets for troops, veterans, first responders, medical frontline workers, teachers, administrators, and more. Go to rocktheboxop.com. Not a lot of tickets left, by the way. Just a handful left. rocktheboxop.com, and you can help support St. Michael's Soldiers, who's a beneficiary of our Dream 18 golf tournament. You can sign up for our golf tournament, actionsportsjacksdream18.com. That's coming up on September the 19th. All right, we talk a lot of football tomorrow. Carathon as well. It'll be a big Friday in Jacksonville on ESPN 690 and our other stations on Cox Media Group. Action Sports Jacks OT coming up next. Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton. Have a good night, everybody.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At American Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
Best Bet St. Augustine is hiring with competitive pay. Work at St. Augustine's newest attraction that'll be opening soon. Best Bet St. Augustine is hiring line cooks, servers, chip runners, mutual tellers, landscape workers, porters, maintenance workers, and vault helpers. No experience is required. You must be 18 years or older to apply. Apply online at bestbetjacks.com or interview in person at Best Bet St. Augustine, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Best Bet St. Augustine, 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311 on I-95.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99. Try Syntec today, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What QC Kinetics is doing for people here in Northeast Florida is nothing short of amazing. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martin. If you have joint pain, any joint pain, you need to call QC Kinetics. Get rid of that. Live healthier, live pain-free. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. QC Kinetics is in Mandarin and now in Ponte Vedra as well. They're growing because demand for these treatments is off the charts. Modern advances in regenerative medicine allow these medical professionals to take the remarkable healing properties from your own body, concentrate them for maximum power, put them directly in your aching joints so your damaged tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. You can get a totally free consultation by doing one simple thing. Call this number, 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522. 2 convenient locations, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. If you have pain in your knees, hips, back, shoulders, don't let them keep you on steroids. Don't believe surgery is your only option. Call 904-274-5522.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call Safe Touch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those 2 thieves broke alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The Safe Touch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know we really need the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. Safe Touch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the Safe Touch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcast.
This is SportsCenter.
Doug Brown, the NBA will honor the late Bill Russell by retiring his number 6 league-wide, except for the players currently wearing it. In the upcoming season, all teams will wear a jersey patch honoring Russell, and courts around the league will feature a number 6 logo. Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady will be away from the team for at least a week for personal reasons. Coach Todd Bowles says Brady should be back after the team's second preseason game a week from Saturday. The first full weekend of the preseason kicks off tonight. Titans and Ravens in Baltimore, Giants and Patriots in Foxborough. ESPN has learned New England quarterback Mac Jones and most of the Patriots starters are not expected to play tonight. ESPN's Diana Rossini.
This is not the same New England in August that we're used to. And I think that's something that this may be without Josh McDaniel may be a lot harder.
Diana Rossini on Get Up. The Giants plan to play their healthy starters.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now, a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
Blame Brent Martineau. That's why the music bed played so long. Dude wouldn't stop talking. Just go home, Brent. The day's over for you. And it's just getting going. For me and Brian Middleton, Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. On a Thursday, that was fantastic stream to just watch you drop the chair down.
Oh, because the
Yeah, that was good.
Adjusted.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I saw that same email that I came in on that you guys are walking. I mean, that I walked in on you guys were talking
Yeah.
about. I saw the same email this morning. I was like, when are they working that one out? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's guaranteed going to be stressful. But
oh boy, thought it was going a different way. It's guaranteed going to be all right. Not what you said.
nah, it's guaranteed going to be stressful. But at the end of the day, all that matters is all the work going to a good cause, and that is Carathon. There's going to be a lot of behind-the-scenes technical things going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be stressful, but at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it, Brian Middleton. That's really all that matters.
Carathon, hey man, also man, while we shouting out employers, former employers, fellow employers, man. Hey man, one of my shout out to Chick-fil-A, Ocotillo. Ocotillo! Huh? Right across from Chandler High. Only the real ones know about it on the stream. You see this? You see this shirt right here? 9 different cows on there.
Do you have people watching from
No,
Arizona?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to shout them out because I was wearing the shirt.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Haven't worn it in years.
You do what you got to do. Is that like a flex, like you're losing weight type thing? Like
No,
you
I
haven't
just-
worn it in years now,
no,
it
I
fits
literally-
type thing? Or
no,
you
it's
just found it?
It was like a uniform shirt, but then I was like, it's not like I'm checking back in over there. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, actually,
Probably not. You know something I don't know?
I mean, you got a good job. You're doing the traffic on 104.5 WOKV, Jacksonville's
Okay, you
News
haven't
and
put my
Talk.
business in the street in a while.
You're
There
doing
you go.
Action Sports Jacks Overtime right now on ESPN 690. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up in just a bit. The Lightning edition of the show. By the way, no show tomorrow. Brian Middleton is heading out of town, and I will be down at the stadium for the Jags and the Browns. So no show on a Friday, just Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up after me and Brent have you covered. Aaron will be down at Carathon tomorrow, so not sure how much you will hear from him from 3 to 6, but me and Brent will be there. You also hear from Foye Aluakin tomorrow. You will hear from Juwan Taylor tomorrow. You will hear from Ice Cube. Yes, Ice Cube tomorrow.
Yay.
On the show. So stay tuned
We
for
be
that.
clubbing.
There you go. You an Ice Cube fan? Like that? Like, do you wish you did the Ice Cube interview?
First of all, you know what I mean? leave some mystery out there.
Okay.
Now people know like it was just you, huh? Or you and Aaron.
It was me and Aaron.
You know?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, anyway, you'll hear that interview
We be clubbing.
tomorrow. There you go. Going to keep working it in. A couple things to get to before we get out of here. FSU in town today. I saw your friend, James Coleman, down there. Friends with James.
Because you're not friends with him.
I don't know him. I saw him and I was going to go up to him and be like, hey, you know Brian? And then I didn't. Because I was dealing with Brent and his stuff. But anyway, FSU in town at practice today. Got a couple of thoughts on those. Also, we'll talk a little bit more about Sam Hartman and the reason he is stepping away from football and kind of how good of a player he actually is. Because I think yesterday I teased it a little bit in terms of I thought he was a sleeper in terms of the Heisman Trophy, and I didn't really give you any stats to back that up because we were out of time, so I'm going to do that. But we'll start with FSU. Come to Jacksonville for a couple of days in the preseason.
Oh, great.
Brian Middleton was underwhelmed. I was underwhelmed. I was out there at practice, watched all of it. Here's the thing. If Jordan Travis gets hurt or Jordan Travis is unable to play for an extended period of time for any reason, they will not win. Like, behind Jordan Travis at the quarterback position, just from what I saw today, I was like, these dudes ain't ready.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was points in the practice where me and Marcel were standing there, and it was like, not Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis looked really good. He threw a nice touchdown ball in the back corner of the end zone in the live period. So, but me and Marcel were standing there for a time, and it was Tate Rodemaker, and it was the freshman A.J. Duffy and a couple of the other quarterbacks, and it was like overthrow, drop, interception, overthrow. And it was like...
And it's not April. It's not March. It's not...
No, it's go
winter
time.
workouts.
Yeah.
We've gone through the summer. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, it was very underwhelming. And then you get to the red zone portion of it, which the defense is probably going to be better. And let me tell you, the defense was better. A couple of red zone interceptions. Again, none from Jordan Travis. One from a wide receiver. That was a wild play. I can't really tell you the details of that. But like 6 different dudes touched the ball. That's all I can give you on that. But the last person to touch it was the DB because the ball was intercepted. But there is some concern there for Florida State, I think, on the offensive side. I'm thinking it was just a bad day, right? I'm hoping, because I did not see a lot of positives, except for one, and that's one thing that hasn't been a positive for Florida State in a long time. Jordan Travis was, or actually anybody at the quarterback position for the most part, was very clean. The protection was very good. And like deep protection. I know it's just training camp, if you will, preseason camp, and they're probably not going 100%. I get that, but there was a lot of good protection, and the offensive line coaches were excited about it, and the defensive line coaches were not. So good protection from FSU is not something that we have seen for a while. The offensive line has been a problem at FSU. It was good today. That's what I can tell you. The offensive line was good today. Jordan Travis was good today. He has a chance to be the most important player in college football, because if he's not good, they're not going to win.
The receivers weren't good today then? Because that's a big part of
They
the
didn't
offense.
get a lot of chances. Like Jordan Travis threw a couple of nice touchdowns that receivers made plays, but a lot of these plays I'm telling you about were overthrows and dudes were trying to get their hand on it. Like there wasn't a lot of opportunity for the receivers.
So Jordan Travis didn't look good today.
No, Jordan Travis did. I'm talking about the other quarterbacks. Jordan Travis was fine.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
But Jordan Travis plays one play, and then you got 5 other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So it's 5 plays where it's not great, and then you've got a good play from Jordan Travis. So
maybe they can check to see if Jermaine Johnson has like some type of reverse eligibility. Just come down one more time.
Yeah, I don't.
Come down to defense. Just help us out one more year.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works fully. But the defense looked okay. Apparently, they feel pretty good about their defense. They like their corners, which again is a new thing for FSU, because if you remember last year, the corners in that Jackson State game sold pretty hard.
It was running in quicksand.
Yeah, it was an all-time sell job. So anyway, FSU in town. We were out there earlier today looking at that. They are in town again tomorrow, and then we'll head back to Tallahassee to get ready for the season, which is quickly approaching. The Sam Hartman part of the story, Brian Middleton, is this. I'll give you the stats. All right. Actually, what I'll do is I will give you the information you need to know if you missed it yesterday. Sam Hartman is the quarterback of Wake Forest, stepping away from football due to a non-football injury. That's where like HIPAA and stuff comes in. So we don't know the extent of what that is, but we do know when HIPAA and stuff like that is cited, it's not good, and it's non-football related. And the point of the story is he will not be playing for Wake Forest. Now, here's the stats, Brian Middleton. This might surprise you. Sam Hartman.
Okay.
4,228 passing yards. It's 7th last year. It's pretty good. 39 touchdowns. Tied 5th.
Yeah.
QBR in college, I don't really get it, but, 79.7.
It's been done.
Yeah, pretty good. But over 4,000 yards, one away from 40 touchdowns, a pretty good team ranked for most of the year.
It's fine.
Sam Hartman's a good. What do you mean it's fine?
It's fine. Yeah, it is. It's fine. I think,
It's good.
Good for him.
What do you mean? It's good. It's not fine. It's good.
Good for him.
You know how many teams would take that? Yeah. So many. So what I'm telling you is 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns is not the norm in college football. This is a very good player that will now miss the season, or at least a good part of it. And I'm telling you, I think this guy was a sleeper Heisman Trophy candidate. I didn't put no money on it yet.
Because you don't really believe it.
No, I would have, but now I'm obviously not. Like
now you won't. Okay.
Well, he's not going to play.
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, thank you.
I'm saying I haven't got around. I'm saying I haven't got around to it yet. Like I was planning to do so. That's how much I believed in this guy. You're not into it.
It sounds good. I'm just saying. I don't know if I buy all that from you, but you haven't lied to me before, so okay.
There you go. They also returned their big playmaker A.T. Perry, but again, now Sam Hartman not being in there will be a hindrance to the team, and a team that now comes back to reality. Maybe a team Florida State can beat when they get into that ACC play, but sucks for Sam Hartman. Prayers up to him, no doubt about it, and we hope to see him come back. At least I do, because I think he is a talented football player. We take our only break of the show. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up in just a couple of minutes, but we hit this break and wrap it up on OT for the week. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Cloudy skies continue this evening. An isolated shower possible, but overnight we're dry and down to the lower to mid 70s. Friday, partly cloudy skies, some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms late morning and into the afternoon. Highs reaching the low 90s, 80s at the coast. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0-interest financing with nothing down.
God, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Dealing with an outdated printer that just can't keep up with you? Visit Staples and upgrade to a new HP Envy Inspire with HP Plus, HP's best home printer. And it comes with 6 months of free ink. It prints everything you need, from homework and work documents to incredible photos and more with amazing quality. Right now, save $70 on the HP Envy Inspire 7955E, available at Staples. Offer valid through August 27th. See staples.com/HP Plus for details.
Thousands of people contact InventHelp monthly about their invention or new product. Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Call InventHelp now. Best of all, the call and information are free. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential, explaining every step of the invention process. Join people just like you who made the call to InventHelp.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everybody, it's Brett Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690 on a Thursday. Last day of the week for Brian Middleton, at least here on ESPN 690. He will be updating you on the traffic tomorrow, though, on 104.5 WOKV. And then we got Jacksonville Jaguar football coming up tomorrow evening. The Cleveland Browns and the Jags. Deshaun Watson still scheduled to get the start unless the NFL makes a ruling before the start of the game. Otherwise, it'll be Deshaun Watson and it'll be Trevor Lawrence for the Jags. Trevor will play. A lot of the first team will play. James Robinson not included in that. Devin Lloyd not included in that either. Travis Etienne is included in that. So we'll get you set for that one tomorrow, and then obviously break the whole thing down on Monday from 3 to 6, and then me and Brian will keep it going from 6 to 7. And on Monday, we will have the return of Inside Seminole Football, the first FSU coaches show of the season. You'll hear from Mike Norvell, as well as the new play-by-play voice of the FSU Seminoles, and that is Jeff Calhoun. Saw him today, went out to lunch with him even today. Good guy, world-class guy. But the new voice of the FSU Seminoles. Brian Middleton, there's fantasy football talk down the hallway at WOKV or what?
Yeah, man, me and Chase, the guy who's smarter than you. Two people that are smarter than you were talking about fantasy football.
Who's the, wait a minute.
Me and Chase Bunker.
You
don't
have
act,
not.
Don't act.
You have not.
Boy, I created the whole segment. What are you talking about?
That doesn't mean you're smarter.
It absolutely does.
It does not.
Yeah, it does.
I will not do the segment again if you're going to just go on the tangent that you're smarter because you have not competed against me.
Puppet master, man.
We will
okay?
we will stop
Players-
we will stop the segment completely unless we go against each other.
Case is it's okay.
You know what?
It's fine. Casey, I come up with these segments every day. Here it is. I haven't even told you about yet. It's all good. Stop it.
I am publicly calling you out to do it.
It's fine.
Me against you. We will have a third party make the questions.
Executive producers don't.
We will have Aaron Schachter.
Don't deal with the talent.
We will have Aaron Schachter make the questions and me against you because I will not take this slander. So just go ahead and move on.
Executive producers don't deal with the talent like that. All right, sir. So here's the deal. Really quick. Now I got to condense it because I know we got to hit this break. Which Jaguar player is going to be the highest point earner in fantasy football? Like, it kind of.
I mean, are we taking Trevor out? Because that's an obvious.
Well, it spurned initially from a Cooper Kupp discussion, but I was like, initially I said Trevor, right? But listen, there's always a wild card out there, right? So I want you to include Trevor, but then give me one or two other names that could potentially lead the Jags. It's going to be on the offense. We know that.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Contrary to popular belief, like the running backs and the wide receivers are what you draft high in fantasy, but like the quarterbacks get the most points. There's just more of them. So I think Trevor will have a good year, not as many interceptions. So I do think Trevor's on that list. But the highest fantasy players on the Jags would have to be the obvious pick everyone's making, Travis Etienne, right? In a PPR league with the catches, with the rushing, with hopefully some touchdowns. That's an obvious one. I want it to be Christian Kirk.
That was my pick.
I mean, it's probably right, but I'm going to give you something else because I know that's what everybody's thinking. Can't believe I'm going to do this, but give me Zay Jones.
You want to talk about disrespect and come out on the carpet before you actually, give him props. Now, you need to go see Zay Jones and give him 5 minutes.
I do.
The disrespect you've given, the slander you've given him.
But not about his football.
No.
Just his hair.
The way that he looks, the way that he carries himself.
And just his hair. But here's the thing. They really like Zay Jones. There's no other way to put it. They signed Zay Jones for a reason. We were kind of like, why'd they sign Zay Jones? They like Zay Jones. Zay Jones is going to be important for this team, I promise you. And if he's not, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah.
But they're going to give him the opportunity to be very important. What does that mean for Laviska Shenault? Not a lot of good. No. Zay Jones is going to be important, and that's why I'll take him as a wild card. Because, Christian Kirk is obvious. Evan Ingram, I wanted to, but I'll give you Zay Jones. I think Zay Jones is someone to think about. If the deep ball's working, if they do all that, then I think Zay Jones will be an important part of this.
Okay, well, my pick was Christian Kirk because I thought most people would go ETN.
Yeah.
Because of the potential to everything you just said.
PPR.
And I was like, I think Christian Kirk gonna show out. He's been hearing a lot of people talk about his name.
I hope he does.
Messing with his name, talking about is he a true number one? Why is he getting paid like that? And I think that he's going to be a favorite of Trevor. I told you about the history that I know about Christian Kirk from my time out in Arizona and running through some of his former trainers and whatnot. So I just think that, listen, it's all set up for him to be that wild card, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. He's got to be good, though. He doesn't have to be a fantasy star. He has to be good
He can't
for
be
this
what he
team.
was at Arizona. I'm just going.
No, he's got to be better. He's got to be better. There's no doubt about it. And better in terms of got to score a little bit more.
Right.
Got to have a few more yards. Again, not a ton, but a few. But he does have to be better. There's no doubt about that, especially if you're going to be the one. Even if you play in the slot, still going to be the one here in Jacksonville. We go from Jacksonville to Durham, North Carolina. Matt Davis, how we doing on a Thursday evening / afternoon?
Really good. About 20 minutes after BP ended, they put the tarp on the field, and it has started raining. So we were just told we're starting in a delay around maybe 7 to 7:15, which is kind of late. But, I mean, at least they see some hope that we will play tonight. But this will be nice for a lot of Rays fans because Taj Bradley is starting, and he's been pretty electric for
Yes, he has.
Double-A Montgomery. He's obviously his first start with Durham several weeks ago. He was electric in his first start, so they have a lot of faith in this guy, the Rays, and obviously him being up here shows that there could be a time that he makes the jump to Tampa, but he will be matching up with Matthew Kent, and it should be a lot of fun. He's a hard thrower, and, I mean, we kind of know what Jacksonville does with hard-throwing guys. They swing the bat really well, and they've been hot lately, and, you know, hopefully the offense can continue to do what they've been doing for close to 3 weeks since the All-Star break. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight. It's an electric pitcher for Durham against really a controlled soft guy like Matthew Kent, who is able to get outs, especially with a hard swinging lineup like Durham. So it should be a good matchup tonight, but we will be starting in a delay, probably between 7 and 7:15, but no official word yet.
I like that. About Bradley, Matt, I'm a Rays fan, and it's fascinating what they're doing because he's been so good in the minors, to your point. And it's kind of like what they did with Boz last year. Like, they called him up, he pitched a little bit in AAA, and then he went to the majors, and they pitched him in the playoffs, which I was not a fan of, and obviously now multiple injuries this season, don't love it. But I wonder if they're going to take the same approach with this guy if he continues to have, like, a crazy low ERA. So hopefully he just doesn't get hurt. Some we were discussing earlier on the show, me, Brent, and Aaron. Why does Durham start their games at 6:35? Like, we're in the same time zone, but everybody else starts at like 7. Do you have any insight on that?
I do not. I can only tell you why Charlotte starts their games at 7:04. That's the only team I know why they do it, because the area code in Charlotte is 7:04.
Is that real?
It is actually 100% real.
Huh. Who knew? Well, all right.
That's why we don't start our games at 9:19, because that's just too late.
Yeah, that's a good call. Here's what I want you to do during the rain delay. Go figure out the 6:35 thing.
I can do that for you.
Like, just-
I would be more than happy.
It's like the Arby's thing all over again, but this time actually do it.
I told you I'm going to do the Arby's thing.
I know. All right, anyway, the point of the story, the Jumbo Shrimp starting in a rain delay. Matt Davis, you will talk to the people later, I should say, but have a good call when you eventually get to it, and we will talk to you again next week.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll be communicating with both of you and Zach as to when we will be starting.
Sounds good. Thank you, Matt Davis from Durham. That'll do it for us on a Thursday. Brian Middleton off on Friday. No Action Sports Jacks overtime on Thursday, just 3 to 6 with me and Brent Martineau down at the stadium, getting you set for Jacksonville Jaguar football. Brian Middleton, have a good weekend. We will talk to you again on Monday in reaction. How did the first team do for the Jags? We will bring that to you at 6 o'clock, Action Sports Jacks overtime. But until Jumbo Shrimp Baseball goes on, we will give you to ESPN programming. Should be friends of the program, Spain and Fitz. They should be on doing their thing, so we will give it to them. And Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up. Stay tuned to social media, Jack Shrimp on Twitter, and we will retweet on the ESPN 690 account as well. Have a great night, everybody.
Action. I was like, what in